Hello, welcome to the stream. I am Will Forge, and today we will forge, as per always. Yesterday I didn't get to work on it that much because I was helping out someone with their map, this Dragon Ball Z Hyperbolic Time Chamber, scripting out the ability to make it to where it's lower gravity, like players can move almost like Dragon Ball Z characters, and it's higher gravity farther away from the building and lower gravity next to the building. And, well, it simulates that. Increases movement speed when you're closer to the building, like a Dragon Ball Z character is really fast, and then you get farther away from the central building and it gets really slow. So that kind of, and it was a lot more challenging than I thought, because it ended up being, I'll show you in Waterworks. I'll just drop in the prefab of the script brain that I built for them, because just to show you how the script went, because it was rough. It was really hard to, it was a lot harder to make than I expected it to be. Let me move the internet off here so we can see Master Chief Collection. It's paused, and let's see, Stream Manager, so I can see chat properly. There we go. Oh, there it is. Chat's on the side. Yeah. I'm trying to remember how this stuff looks. So yeah. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Still loading in. There we go. Now, here's what, let's see. Let's see, here we go. I need to tweet out that I'm live. I always forget how to do that. Here we go. Timeline. Need to do that. Need to go to Twitter and manually do it, I think, because I don't see a way to automatically. I know there's a way to make it automatically tweet out as soon as you go live, but let's see. I will switch back to YouTube if this doesn't work out better, but I just wanted to be sure. How do I hit share on my own stream? Who knows? So there's a bunch of learning curve for this, but let's see. I just need to go to twitch.com. That'll get me to my channel. Grab my link. Go to Twitter. There we go. Okay. There we are. Just wanted to have made a little tweet there. Okay. So the thing is, basically what I did was so I spent a long time yesterday, where is it? Making the traits by distance from origin. I had to grab this flower to make it a prefab, or else it wouldn't let me. Let's see if it'll let me go into the script brain. Yes. Okay, so it's big, and all I did was, like, I was trying to set this up for somebody, and what it does is it takes the location of the script brain and the player, Does it for every player, and it gets the position of the player and gets the position of the object. It turns them into vector axis. It takes the x of each, turns them into absolute values, subtracts one from the other, multiplies them together, adds that result of the x and the y like that, and then square roots them. So basically the quadratic formula is what you're looking at here. I'm plugging in two x's and two y's into the quadratic formula, and then I'm comparing so that I have the distance from the head, and I would have done it a way that was more fluid, but apparently once you declare traits, you can't adjust their values. Once you've declared them initially at the beginning of the match, you cannot change these in the trait. So I had to make different ones. It's Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 4, Super Saiyan G for God. I was gonna make a 1, but it seemed like this was the right amount for the size of the map. And they don't really, it doesn't make sense to call them Super Saiyans because it's just the gravity. Finally, notifications. Exactly. And this is what I built out. And I didn't need Clint's help. I mean, it took me like 6 hours or something ridiculous like that, with, of course, lots of interruptions from my kids. But I didn't need Clint's help for it. He had mentioned the quadratic equation was what was necessary to determine the distance between two objects at one point in a previous video, so I kind of had his help. I did Google it instead, so I had Google's help mainly in this case. But yeah, it got big and goofy, and these are large because I have to do different traits every single time for each of the different branches, and this is just your distance from the center to trigger each branch individually. So that was pretty cool. I liked that. I mean, it was it took a long time. It was very surprisingly took a long time, and but now we're back in. Now we're back to Waterworks. And let's see. So if you want to go download that Dragon Ball Z map, it will now make you move like a Dragon Ball Z character appropriately, and it will, as you get farther away from the central structure, as in the the anime, you will notice that it gets higher and higher gravity until it's such high gravity that you move like a normal player at the end. Instead of, I didn't want to make it to where like it straight up push you into crouch like I thought about doing, because that would be like really a lot like the anime. But the reason I didn't was because after I got it working and I had it going with the and I had it going the way it was, I was like, okay, this is actually it feels really good. Like if you run out from the central structure all the way out to the farthest point, and then you just like suddenly go back to normal player movement speed, it feels like crap. Feels like super slow compared to how fast it's making you go, and it makes you be like, oh wow. It's also especially funny because they made the map really big, and so whenever you get out there, it's like you're running and running and running. There's vehicles at the very farthest point, and then suddenly you get really slow just before you get to the vehicles, and it feels a lot like you're getting bogged down by weight. It's really kind of cool, actually, how it works, how it like feels whenever you actually play the map. But definitely a special version of that map for a special like sort of authentic mode of the game. Because he, he agreed with me whenever I suggested to him. He was in Discord. I was like, hey, what if you did this? And he was like, that's actually a cool idea. I want to do that, but I don't know how. And I was like, okay. I'll make an exception and pause my map to come help you with this because it's kind of cool, and I like Dragon Ball Z. But yeah, so that was pretty cool. I haven't jumped into other people's maps that much. There's one other guy I jumped into his maps to help him out at the very beginning of Forge. And this stuff, I don't know why I put these rocks like this. I think it was just that they had good flat edges, so I layered them, and I was going to put them inside of other rocks. But let's see. And yeah, so that was cool. I'm hoping to help people out more in the future, though, because like obviously this map is very demanding of my time. And once I'm done with this map, there's that whole contest going on. So yeah, I might. I'm probably definitely gonna be doing that. I know, Aaron, I know. I really want to use your trees. The tree I requested you make, the cherry blossom, and that you put so much time and effort into. Other people have used it, and I've seen those maps online. There's like someone made a Tenrai map based on your cherry blossom tree that I saw in something. Is this ready to be the roof? Yeah, this must be ready to be the roof because the roof is there. I don't think I'm doing it right. I think it's like this. It's like really sharp transition up here, and I need to put another angled piece there. Actually, did you see that, by the way, Aaron? Have they notified you that they've used your tree for like a Tenrai map? Because it was really cool looking. I didn't go into it at all because I'm really I've been doing this, and I haven't actually gotten to play Halo Infinite in well, I played the campaign with my wife right after the multiplayer campaign co-op dropped. No, you didn't know about it? Oh man, you should look it up. Actually, let me give you guys this in chat. Where was it? Close that little tab thing down. Man, I've got so many tabs open. Where did I put it? Here we go. This dude put together this, and I think you guys might like it. I don't keep up with Forge on my burnout. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot you had taken a break. I still don't remember how to change the chat rules that pops up. It doesn't make any sense for my stream, but yeah. Okay, so this link brings you to Google Doc. That's a spreadsheet someone made, which is a whole bunch of maps. I don't think this is where I saw it. I think I saw it in more like Duquesne's new map chat, or maybe someone else's. But it might be in here now. I haven't really gone through these since I found this guy's thing. Dual X's, Halo Infinite Forge Map Locator. And it's basically like the maps he's played that he likes. He's put into this thing. He's saying that, you know, they're good quality maps. So that's pretty cool. I mean, obviously it's going to be kind of superfluous soon. And with the way that that Infinite actually lets you pick your maps, or like what do you call it? Sort through maps for their quality and stuff, makes it kind of superfluous. But it's cool to have a kicking off point to go look for maps. I would say, anyway. Okay, so this is gonna go over here, and actually there's a slope here that I didn't notice before. That might need to replace how I'm doing this, because it comes past... I didn't realize, but there's actually a slope that comes past this. It's more like this. It might replace the piece I was just placing in the first place. Kind of goes like this. Yeah, and it can clip into the ceiling there, and then keeps going over to this side as like a... where is it? It's all the way over there. But yeah. So let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and rotate that to close to the same angle, but not quite. There we go. No, is that the same angle? Did I get to the same angle after a couple seconds? Well, it is actually really close. There we go. Much better. So, Aaron, have you bought any new games lately? Since I know you buy games like almost every day, it seems. Not really, but it seemed like it for a little while there. Let's see. Here we go. Yes, bought Lego Ninjago this morning. Nice. I swear, do you buy a new game every day? Or is it just like, or Or it's just like you just happen to be getting all the sales? Because it seems like almost like you are buying a new game every day right now. Or like in this period of you know, what do you call it? Of Steam sales and everything, or wherever you're getting them from. Because I know you said you got them from the store, right, for the console? So I guess not Steam. Let's see. We got it for 40 euros, cheaper than what it usually is. Nice. By the way, I did throw up a poll on YouTube for just because I wanted to see everyone else's take on switching to Steam, just to see what people were thinking about it, so that's on there if you want to vote on it. Oh, whoops, that wasn't supposed to move. I was supposed to duplicate it. If you want to vote on it, because I already know your vote, but I want to make sure that I know that you have voted. So I thought I'd let you know. Like, I don't know if you voted or not, and I could add you to the vote, you know, because I know what your opinion is already. But yeah, let's see. Not euros. I keep reading that as euros. I keep doing that. Oh my gosh. I'm so goofy on that regard. Like, I don't... Ooh. It's like it slightly, doesn't really, but slightly looks like an E, and I think my brain is just like, oh, that's euros. Like a dummy. It's like everybody recognizes the euro when they actually see it, but I think there's like 6 different currencies that throw people off whenever they shouldn't be thinking it's the euro. And yeah, let's see. Okay, so this is kind of like this kind of. It actually goes all the way to the roof, so I think I actually need to do that here as well, instead of doing this. Which is interesting. Let's see. Here we go. Getting that cave built out. Welcome to the stream. Long response, I'm trying to get all the achievements on Jedi Fallen Order. Oh, nice. I didn't get to... I haven't played Jedi Fallen Order. It looks really good. I assume it is, if you're trying to get all the achievements in it. Let's see. And then we'll do this one. And we'll move this up here. Sort of get that same effect I was trying to do a second ago at that good. Like it's kind of sloped into the ceiling there. Is it crazy of me trying to get the 1-to-1 also on the rocks? Like, is this madness? Like, should I be trying to just build out the rocks in a random way, or is this a good idea here? Better get playing it before the sequel drops in 3 months. Yeah, if I'm gonna play it, then now would be a good time. The question is if I'm ever gonna play it. Not that I don't think it's interesting looking. It looks really good, but I'm just... Yeah, I know there's probably going to be spoilers for the sequel very quickly on the internet, and there won't be much to say about it. It'll be spoiled, it'll be done, and I won't be able to undo that. Let's see, let me bring that thinner, because it is supposed to immediately turn back out, and then I can do this, and actually let's flip it over so we can have a slightly different shape to it compared to that one. And this one may also need to be thinner because that means I can turn it a little more, which is good because it was supposed to be turned pretty sharply there. And then it needs to also go out. And I think, yeah, I can duplicate this one and bring it up. Let's see. Better get playing it before they see. Stream it. Do it. Pause Waterworks. Yeah. Just pause Waterworks, do that, and then also I would have to give up on that, on the idea of wanting to get into that contest. So, but screw the contest. Fallen Order. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, I think I need to adjust this one. Clearly, it's not wanting to line up. I think it needs to go this way so that I can sort of blend it into the next stone while keeping its angle. Or mostly keeping its angle. Like, if I can do that, and then I can just move this back, and then tilt it as well. Then I could, sort of create an effect like this. I think this one needs to come even more extreme. Thought I was doing it right whenever I had it that extreme. I thought that might have even been at the edge of the extreme of how extreme it could be, but looks like it could go even more. There we go. That looks like what we're dealing with over here, polygon wise. Let's see. Literally pause Waterworks. Let's go play Fallen Order. No, I gotta finish this out. Part of me is constantly trying to do everything else in the world already. I'm pretty sure undiagnosed ADHD. It's a canon story in Star Wars universe. Yeah, that's one of the things that's especially interesting about it, because you can't like there's so many Star Wars games that are not canon. And that alone is really a draw. Like, I love Knights of the Old Republic. It's such a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece that I haven't played the first one of. I own it and I've played it to, like, I always get to the same area and then I start it over. And not because I don't want to continue, but just because I get distracted, and then whenever I get back to it, I've forgotten what was happening and what I was doing, and I'm like, I just gotta start it over again, don't I? Or else I just have to go in blind and forget everything I've been doing. But yeah. Let's see. Let's try this for the roof. But Knights of the Old Republic 2, I've played all the way through like 3 times. And that's why I say I love it. Because the series is so good. Or the 2 of them are so good, rather. I haven't played the Old Republic, the online one. But, yeah, but the other 2, I've definitely tried and liked. I need to clip this into the ceiling a little more so that it has more of a smoother transition and everything. A little higher up, rather. There we go. That feels a little more natural, and I might be able to add another rock to fill that seam if it doesn't look any good once the shadow's on it. But man, it's getting really dark in here. Look at that. I don't even have to turn the sunlight off. I've got shade on the bridge the entire time. It's like that screenshot I took of the bridge for my YouTube channel. That, like, yeah, it looks like it actually, like, in the actual structure of it, which is exciting. This is definitely going well. Okay, so I've got this sort of angle here, which is on, oh, didn't mean to grab Blender. On Blender, it's this, like, this nope. It's this angle that you can probably see a little better now that I've highlighted it. And then it feeds into this, which is much wider. It kind of feeds out into it and then smooths out at the wall. And that is going to be a thing I should build. Like, this one is already at a bit of an angle, but actually I need this to be wider, so to speak. This, like, groove to be wider at the back and a little thinner at the front, so I tweak it a little bit there, and then I can duplicate it for the roof. The roof pieces are going to be much larger, and some of this is getting really close to the hole, so I might need to adjust it in a minute whenever I get to the hole. Oh, hello. Apparently I just opened a new hole. That's not supposed to be there. Speaking of the hole, Okay, let's see. I definitely want to do that angle. There we go. And like this. There you go. Let's see. So now I've got that groove going down, and it needs to widen out back here. So I need to twist this and move it out this way, and like this. And I probably need to make this one shorter, so it doesn't flip so far into the next piece of this line. Or like this. And there we go. And probably a little more tilted so I can make it wider. Actually, that looks pretty good. And then this one needs to be tilted this way so that it sort of gets wider at the back. And that way it will go into the wall at a much wider angle, and then it'll hit and go and curve down with the wall's curvature. So that would be pretty good. Okay, so this area apparently needs to be tilted in even more than it is. Like I have it going out, and now needs to go back in, so that it can, and actually a pretty steep angle so that it can lead in, which means this needs to go at a pretty steep angle too, better than I have it. And let's see, that means that I need to do, I will select both of them and duplicate them and move them into position. At some point, I might go back through these if they feel too much all alike, and like find another rock that looks really good, like this one. At the I'd like to do all of this, and just like you know, replace some of these with that other rock. But for now, I want it to be built out, and I want to see if this rock alone can handle it, because it really is a very straightforward and somewhat versatile rock to use in this case. And it seems like it's doing a good job. Okay, so these don't necessarily need to be this steep of a turn. And I think I'm actually getting to the extent of what I can do before the base is built out. Because now that I'm here, the base goes like right here or so, like right here. I'll just grab this piece and put it where the base is roughly. I believe the base is roughly right around here. That may be in the center of the base, that may be a little bit closer to its doorway. I'm not entirely certain. But basically, sorry for the pun there, basically it should be right around there. And so there's that cliff that kind of goes along the edge of the wall there, and that won't be able to be, I mean, I could start building that out here, and actually that might be a good way to sort of tell where the wall is going as far as I can, because here's the thing, I'm going to be copying all of this, but I just found out yesterday that there is an object selection limit. It's been right in front of me the entire time. At the very bottom of the screen here, you can see it says 1 of 150 objects selected. And I've got well over 150 objects over here. In fact, this bridge and room is probably at least 150 objects. So, yeah, it's going to be a thing where, while I talk about this, I just realized that I didn't select my folder, so I got to go do that. But anyway, while it, there we go, all these rocks. While it's, yeah, I've got over 100 and almost 150 just alpine rock chunks. Now, here's the thing, you can, whenever you prefab stuff, it becomes one object selected according to down there at the bottom of the screen where it lets you see how many you have, where it tracks them. And I don't know personally. I tried to, part of trying to fix that guy, or like do that upgrade to that guy's map, was that the hyperbolic time chamber was, like the building wasn't in this very center of the map, and I was gonna just find your coordinates and then call it a day, you know, just be like, here's your coordinates, I'm gonna use this value. Wouldn't have had to do the quadratic equation if it wasn't so complicated to move the oh, whoops. Come on now. Oh, I just select this. Wait. Yes. Go to this. What is it trying to do? Okay, let's get out and go back and stop trying to move stuff at the keyboard. Go back in and try the move feature again. Okay, move to there. Okay, cool. Now it worked. Try to select everything. Yeah, see, that's the maximum number of objects I can select. It has all of these selected, and it's not selecting anything on the bridge that I can tell. So, copying and pasting this to the other side means I'm going to have to divide up this bridge section and all this cave and all that stuff into segments of 150 objects. And that's going to be a pain in the butt, but what I can do is I can place a single object on the bridge. Here, I'll show you where I'm going to do it. So that you understand the game plan. This bridge right here, I'm going to place an object like a cube, and I'm going to snap it to that corner. Okay? I'm going to select 150 or 149 objects over here and the cube. Duplicate it. Rotate it around and snap it to the bridge over here. The result is going to put it exactly where it needs to be on this side. That's what I was going to do whenever I thought I could select everything over here, but now that I know I can only select 150 objects, I know that this map is way too big for that. Now, if I prefab stuff, if I go and select a whole bunch of stuff and throw it into a prefab, here, I'll just show you by grabbing a prefab somewhere. Okay, here we go. This doorway, the lights, I hate that. Whenever you build out the map, they move. But anyway, select it, and it says 1 of 150. But it may not like that if I go to move a bunch of, like, if I have prefab everything over there into, like, 10 prefabs or something like that, or 30, or even 20 prefabs, whatever it needs to be. Then, like, I could prefab out that wall, and then prefab out the next layer of it, and then prefab out the ceiling, and then prefab out the bridge. The point is, if I do that, then I may be able to select all of those prefabs, and it may count as just like 30 objects or something, like 10 or 10 to 30 objects, depending on how big the prefabs are able to store. I know they can only go up to what you can select, so they're all over, also only stuck at 150. But what I'm saying is that it might be possible that because it moves them as a group, excuse me, that won't mess up on the server, because the server side will just be like, oh, you're moving the group? Cool, you're moving the group to one new coordinate. So it might actually make it to where I can do that. But I tried to do it in their map. Their map had spawn points in it already. Spawn points have collision and got all ruined. Just trying to make everything move. Yeah, good. It fixed those lights. Fixed that light. A bunch of those things just sort of dropped to the floor. Anyway, the point is that, yeah, that should be a workable solution, but I have no idea. I don't know about you, Aaron. Have you tried that at all? Have you had to deal with large, massive numbers, or have you heard of anyone else dealing with large, massive amounts of objects like that that had to do weird stuff to get it to work? Because it seems like that's the only real solution, as far as I'm concerned, is to just sort of like try to prefab them, or it's grab them in chunks, which the prefabs will once again help with that. So if I do prefab it and I'm like, oh, hey, yeah, that's, that works, but it's still, or it doesn't work, but it's still, I can always be like, yeah, well, at least I have them in prefabs now, so I can select them easily and move them over to the other side. And then I could just do it one prefab at a time. But it's just like kind of a challenge. This particular rock is nice because it's got corners. I don't know if you remember me talking about the tetrahedron. It said, seen what? Okay, have you ever tried or seen someone try or talk about moving a massive number of objects at one time and how to solve the selection limit as a hard limit? Because that is what I'm going to have to do very soon whenever I go to copy this, which could be today. And then I'll be potentially working on the bases today. I don't like this rock for this part, because the thing that makes this rock great is also what makes this rock not work here very well. Okay, I think I can leave it like that. That looks pretty good. Basically, the rock, this rock is pretty cool because the angles are like the scaling angles and stuff like that are pointed at the corners of the rock instead of at the I don't know. Need to go soon. Phones stingers. Okay, cool. I know I'm only getting 2 viewers here. I'll be honest, Aaron. I'm only getting 2 viewers here, and I like being able to chat with you. So I did make the switch to see if I could chat with you, you know, and everything. But man, it feels really weird to dump. I had like 11 viewers over on YouTube. I know it's going to be a build back up and everything like that, but still, it's just like it's giving me anxiety a bit. Let's see. Okay. Where am I? But I'm still giving it a try though, over here on Twitch. Okay, let's see. Well, I am trying to get the, basically I'm having to, whenever I move it over, it's going to be a pain in the butt, so I'm going to see if I can solve that with prefabs. That's the sum of it. And let's see, what are we doing over here? And I won't be able to undo during all that change, because who knows? Stingers. I meant phones dying. Yeah, I was going to say, it says phone stingers. I figured that's what you meant, but I thought it was some kind of slang or something I'd never heard of. I don't even know. I was like, okay, stingers, sure. Whoop, jumped right off the bridge. Just trying to jump so I could see the angle, and I ended up jumping right over the rail. Like it was intentional. Let's see. Okay, so that actually is that little slope in there. This little slope is apparently perfect. And going into that is apparently perfect. And I didn't realize that I was making it so properly angled. I mean, I think it needs to be a little bit more. But yeah, there we go. I mean, maybe it was actually how it's supposed to be without it. Like, that is supposed to be a sharp transition there. Like a rock had fallen away or something. But yeah, I think that might be supposed to be that way. I just fiddled with that rock all this time, and it's just, nope, don't even need it. Let's see. Let's go ahead and put this here. Is it supposed to wrap around a little bit? And actually, let's rotate this. No. Yeah, I think this could go like this. What am I selecting here? And then go up here, throw it. I think in part I'm competing with more streamers on Twitch here too. But let's see, here we go. Let's see. Let's see here. This should go to here. I'm gonna use that little like puzzle piece kind of shape there, trying to get just the right angle. It actually kind of is also like Unique switched over to YouTube exclusively right now, at least temporarily. And everyone was like, whoa, what you doing over here on YouTube only? And he was like, well, I'm trying to get more views for his YouTube channel. And why is this on half? And because he was like getting really close to monetization, which is pretty exciting. So I left my stream open even though I had to walk away. I was like, alright, I'm leaving my stream open to support your channel while you're trying to get that monetization. But it was like the first time I've ever made it to one of his streams live. I hadn't actually even hardly seen any of his before that, actually, but I didn't want to tell him that. So I just said, this is the first time I've been doing one of your things live. But I had missed a lot of his stream, like almost all of his streams. I had only just started watching them. Mainly at your request, Aaron. I don't know if you're still here, since I know you said you were just about to leave because your phone was dying. Let's see. Here we go. Is that a good angle? Yes, that looks pretty good, actually. Like, legitimately, that looks good. Okay, I think, though, I want one more. to make this nice and smooth going into here, but I don't want to poke out into the area below, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge to find just the right angle. And I mean, thought it'd be a challenge. Actually, it's super easy, barely an inconvenience. There we go. Okay, so we've got that going. Now I need to get a rock to go down here. That gets a good sharp angle. I suppose the best sharp rock one, like sharp squarish one, is actually this one. That's why I've been using it. Because it makes building things out very easily. Very easy, I mean. And then you can rotate and rotate until you get the right spot, and then slap that thing in there. And let's go with this side. So that way it's got this nice corner. And we can go like this. Let's go to world rotation for a second. There we go. Oh no, I don't want to. Yeah, it's that one. Goes into that, and then it's separate there. Okay. But then it's also kind of twisted a little more. And it doesn't have these rocks up here. Will they ruin anything about this shape that could be used, like once you climb up on top here? Not really. I don't believe they will. And they kind of look interesting because they go with that rock and it kind of like comes out like that, so I think I will leave them. I am going to have to scale though, because it's definitely not big enough to go into the floor. And its angle is way too sharp. It should actually be really close to vertical, like this. And so, however those rocks look now, is the real question. They do still look like they're kind of, like sort of protruding. They actually kind of give like a stepping stone kind of thing. Which will be interesting in my glow-up version of the map. I think I am going to leave them, even though they're not there in the original, because it doesn't really make much of a difference to the original. But in the glow-up version, it's going to be really cool. I definitely have this thing poking out way too far. It's supposed to slope away immediately after touching this corner, so maybe they're gone. Yeah, they're gone. I'm just using this piece for this angle, apparently. Yeah, there we go. And then it needs to... okay, so one thing that is over here, Master Chief Collection, I need to look at is the angle of this doorway sort of area. I think that if I come down here and look at it with my little tiny rock here, yeah, that angle is just right. I need to... So it must... Let's come out a little bit farther. Let me check, take a look a little closer to that. Oh, okay, actually it does come out farther. It kind of comes out to like there. And then it kind of starts to come along this edge. Okay, so I was wrong. I had a little closer to accurate before. And what I can do is actually rotate this way to sort of give it that outward slope there. And that will make it fit just, and it's a little bit too far that way. I need that flat wall there. So that will make it just end there, which will give me that slope, and then have another rock coming out of it, which should work great. And it goes into like this upward slope, so I'm getting into the wall pieces, but first it comes a little bit out this way. I'll be back. Cool. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger. That wasn't an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice. It was just an impersonation, for the record. It wasn't an attempt. That was just a weird accent to say Arnold Schwarzenegger in. Just for the record. Probably not even a real accent. You tell me what it sounds like. just threw it out there. That's kind of interesting because it looks like it's got bullets like shooting through it. This is not what the wall is shaped like, in that there are no grooves there like that. And I'm afraid that you'd be able to climb into it, so I think I'm going to have to get rid of them. Let's see. It doesn't appear to be able to be climbed into. It definitely doesn't let me clamber it. So maybe not a big deal. It does kind of look cool, but I've been doing very well with my 1-to-1, and I don't know that I want to, you know, go from that and suddenly start in this one stream messing up all my 1-to-1 visuals. I want to get it as close to the original as possible, so that needs to go. Even this side is too angular at its corner. Let's see. Maybe this piece is too bumpy and I need to make it flatter. That's what I typically do with this piece, is make it pretty flat. So let's do that. And then of course there's going to be a big slope coming out of it, out of the roof, so that it won't be as, you know, angular as all that, but it really does go alongside the path. Okay, it kind of gets wider and then it comes back in. There's a slope there. If I go into Blender, it'll be a lot more visible. Let's see, if I select all these, hit period, then it will fix my camera to be more smooth. So I've got, oh, don't tab out of that. I guess I'll just deselect. So the wall kind of comes out and then goes back in, and it curves back in. So this, it does go out steeper than the actual path, very similar to this, maybe slightly less, and then it should be just right. And actually that looks great here where it's merging, like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. And then it's going to go that way. I do think that it has made the path a little too thin. So that perfectness can be achieved by tweaking it until we still get that perfect, like, puzzle piece connection there. Wow, yeah, look at that. Looks like one giant piece. And the width is correct, and that's great. Once again, all of this praise for my own map purely because of the quality of Forge mode. This is, you know, would not be possible if this weren't just such a great tool. I'm just waiting to, like, for people to catch on, like, oh my gosh. Infinite's about to become the best way to, like, try out new kind of game modes and stuff in a game. It really is. Okay, so one thing about this is that while in the map I didn't realize this actually protrudes out really far and above that roof. So there's like a piece here that I'm sort of missing. It goes along with this shape that is definitely not there in mine. And it should be matching up with, like, basically like this or so. I don't want that lip to be there, so I need to merge it more like this. Like, that needs to come up sloped like this, and I need another one of these to sort of blend this area. And, like, whoop. Sort of like this. Let's scale it and put it into there. Try to get that angle just right to look really good. There we go. Now it's merging with those rocks really nicely. Okay, so we've got that above the roof, but then what happens is the appears, well, actually, it kind of goes out a little farther than that, so maybe more like here. And then we'll put that in. Might have to adjust that angle again. But essentially, there, perfect. So that's like that. This is sort of like this. We'll see, make sure that I have that right in a moment. But this piece should actually be apparently tilted out like this. And it kind of needs to go into a point, so it's really kind of made up of multiple pieces. And, yeah. Oh, I see. I see how to do this. So the idea that I should be trying to achieve here is to... I'll put this back, and I'll tilt this way. Apparently I need to tilt that this way, and this way. And what that'll let me do is I can position this here, and then create part of that triangle piece, the polygon that's in the original cave. And putting entire giant rock pieces with detailed texture on them and everything like that to represent a polygon in a classic game. That is really good quality tool. Let's see. And then we're going to go out like this with this one, and it will also help form out that triangle, and together they'll form this, and then we'll grab that piece behind it and we'll rotate it to be thinner, and then get that piece and go inside of both of them. Actually, let's flip it over because the other side has a nice sort of angle on it. See how it gets kind of thinner up there? That'll be perfect. Go back to object rotation because that makes it a lot easier to get these fine angles. So then we can go like this and sort of build this out ever so slightly, like this. And then we have, let's go down further because I got to put it inside the wall. And thusly, boom, we have ourselves our angle coming out above the roof and going out all the way to like right above the corner. Actually, honestly, it's even more extreme than that, isn't it? I thought that would be perfect, and then I look at it. No, it's not. It's about like this point right here. Go to points instead of polygons. Oh, jeez. Let's go ahead and select these. Oh, come on now. Well, anyway, we'll go down Z and we'll hit where we'll see where it hits. Yeah, it's well past it this way, but it's not past it this way. So, basically, this point needs to come down to right around here, and I think it does actually. That point right there. Hold on. Thought I was looking at a better angle. No, it doesn't, because now it's coming down to basically right there on the roof. So that's what we gotta do. We gotta tilt this further that way. And then we can tilt this one out further. I'm glad I started building this little ridge here because I thought I had done all of this right the first time or got close to it. Now I'm finding out that I did not, that I could have done this way better. I just paid attention to where this thing slopes out to. Blah. It also, this is cool because this little thing, it is like this on the original, like this weird like jut out, go back in, jut out. There's an unusually high number of polygons in that area for Halo 2, basically. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the base line, and then more coming up from there. So, like, that's kind of a big deal. And that's, back then, that's a lot of polygons. Just to devote to one little tiny area of the cliff. Seems like, it's almost excessive. Not really. I'm exaggerating, but yeah. go. Do believe that that means that all of this should come out a bit so that it slopes up more gradually and should be tilted more to slope up more gradually. There we go. I think this one wants to come out a little more. And this one as well. Sort of shore up those differences there. And up. Which means that this one needs to tilt. And this is where it gets more tricky around the corner there. We need to find out what to do over here. Let's see. Not gonna lie, Aaron. Not gonna lie. I'm looking at the numbers, and I'm not thinking that as much as I love to have you chatting, and I know you can chat, just it's annoying on YouTube, but yeah, I'm looking at these numbers, and I'm like, I don't know if this is a good idea, this whole Twitch thing. But I know that I've only just started, though, so hard to say, but I know he's not here right now, but he might be listening. I just left chat. But yeah. He was hoping that, he said something like Duquesne, he was trying to get Duquesne to raid me, to help support my channel. And I was like, oh, that'd be great. Yeah, maybe I should switch over there, you know, because you got buddies that'll help me out, and that sounds good. But I'm like, getting anxiety here. Okay, now let's try and build out more of this path so we know how this actually should be going over here. Because that was the mistake earlier, was not building out the path. It does, I just wanted to see how much more, how little it actually needed to go out as I had done it before. Because this is, I'm not finalizing these positions in case you're wondering. I am just trying to drag them out to sea. And then, there we go. Actually, need to bring it up a bit more so that it goes into the ceiling. There we go. Make it look nice and natural. Okay, so yeah. So now I need to come out here and get that little tiny ridge, that little Spartan scale area. Because that's the key to it, is finding your Spartan scale and then building up from there. That's how you get it accurate. So, twisting it that direction already got me my angle pretty well. And I do believe that it should be around here, based on the scale of that pylon versus where it is. Right around there. It needs to transition into this angle. And that works, but this I think is supposed to be tilted. Whoop. There we go. Instead of going up at that inward tilt, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have an inward tilt. Like absolutely sure. Yeah, this all this stuff either goes straight up down here. All of these polygons either go straight up or slope back away from the walkway. And that's pretty cool. Okay. And actually, it looks like there's even a, yeah, this like, this sort of angled connection between the two is actually accurate to the original, so I'm kind of liking that. Let's see. Right around there. Okay, cool. Now let's build out this floor. Now the floor is going to have a different colored texture for the actual surface. It needs to be sandy, like we got over here. So I'm actually going to duplicate this, which is actually a terrain piece that I had set up a long time ago. And I might actually have to change its color because it shouldn't be tan like this. The ground in Waterworks is more of a gray everywhere. It's like powdered sand, it's like sand made from powdered rock face. Like the roof itself crumbling away. So I do believe that this might not be the right color. Oop. It's very close. Does that look good? I kind of intentionally got that corner to have like dirt coming up on top of it. I don't know if that looks good or if it just looks like clipping. It does basically just looks like clipping. It looks good for like Halo Reach Forge. That little bit of clipping would be like, oh, that's how you do it clever. So it looks like the dirt is, you know, growing up on top of it a little bit. But like this forge, it's like, no, that's no good. That's just dirty. That's actually something I've noticed with the forge maps that I've made so far. They feel like Halo 5. Not like they look like Halo 5. Like, everyone's doing a really good job of making them not look like Halo 5. Or like the tool is. The tool is trying really hard to make maps that don't look like Halo 5. But what's happening is that people are very largely falling into their habits from whenever they were Halo 5 forgers, which I'm conveniently avoiding because I didn't play Halo 5. I'm getting lucky in that regard. Not that I'm better than them, but that I just haven't... I didn't have to go through that. Am I going to have to grow... Oh, good. Good. It grew that direction. And what I mean by that is that they're not applying the same textures. Like this, same level, to the same degree of textures. Like, I see a lot of people not, like, shying away from textures like this that give some actual, like... effect, shying away from the rusty effects and the scratch effects and stuff like that, probably because they're afraid of those kinds of lines, which is a legitimate concern, because that's kind of a limitation. But whenever they do that, I feel like it's a mistake, because it's just well, I mean, you should never give in to fear, but also more importantly than that, it's just that it's not it doesn't come out looking as good as they think it does whenever everything looks like plastic and is a solid color. And they probably were some of the same people who complained about that for Halo 5, is that they're, you know, because a lot of people complained about that with Halo 5, that everything felt like plastic. Okay, I need this to be in... Oh, I was in camera? What a weird tool, like, setting to be in. A lot of people complained about everything looking like plastic in Halo 5, and then people are setting their colors up on their objects in this one to have the exact same effect. And I'm like, dude, this isn't the tool set. You should really be able to pull this off. And I don't know, though. I'm waiting to see what happens whenever I build out my lighting, because if it turns out mine looks like that, then I'm talking to my ass right now. But basically, yeah, it's kind of what I was noticing and kind of feeling whenever I was seeing some of the other maps. I haven't gotten to really play very many maps, like I've mentioned, but I have gotten to, I have watched YouTube videos like almost every day about what people are making and stuff to see. But yeah, so this will go here. That little hole is weird. I'll definitely need to fill that in. And I can do that with a simple rock. So, because the object count, the budget is so high. Problem is that means I'm going to have to copy it over. So I got to make sure to select it. Can't be a clamor point here. I need to make sure this is a nice and smooth surface, because that's not... The clamor point here would defeat the purpose of the ramp just to the right. And, yeah. It would not fit the one-to-one. Even if I add one in later to my glow-up version, I cannot put it into this version. There we go. That looks great. Cool. That's actually gives me a perfect angle here and a protrusion there to fit the sort of the ledge that's down here to climb up onto there. So that's pretty cool. I was watching Unique yesterday, and he was doing a great job, as he always does. But until for a while, I thought he was even going to do it with the texture thing, because he had done it first, and then he eventually went back over everything and changed stuff. And he did something interesting that I was like, why is he doing it like that? where he selected his objects. He went into his color, and he like changed the color to like black or something. He didn't. There's a bug in objects where like a segment of the map is like a different color, like a shade of orange or whatever, and it changes the shade of your final color that you select. And I don't think that he knew how to fix it. Like, I watched him do it, and I was like, he could do this, this simple thing that I had figured out previously, and make that fixed really easy. I think I could have done this here too. And yet he didn't, and I was like, I wonder if he knows about that. And I wasn't in chat at the time, or else I would have just let him know and see if he, or asked him if he knew already. It's not. Oh, there it goes. But yeah, and it was like, he made everything this like really dark gray, and it was hard to, like, he was like, then later he was like, why are my textures messing up? Whenever he was trying to sort of to build out the lighting, it was like making everything like super dark. And I was like, immediately whenever he did that, I was like, I wonder if that's related to the fact that he set everything to like black, and he doesn't realize that he's actually overdone it. It could be. I really wanted to say something, but I wasn't in chat at the time. I think I was listening to him and like poking my head out of the shower. Had him on the phone, and I was listening to what he was saying and poked my head out of the shower and to see what he was talking about. And I was like, yeah, no, I saw him do that earlier. And I thought about how it wasn't a good idea at the time, but now it's actually come to fruition where, yeah, I don't know if I can use this giant piece because this thing is not perfectly flat in the game, and I've been building off of it, but it's close to it, but it's not. It actually goes up at a slope, and not only that, but it kind of has this like bumpy effect over here. I mean, if I do get the color right, and it definitely goes to a slope right here, so I definitely can't do this as this long. Even if I use this right away, it's got to be, you know, here at most. I think getting the right height is one of the most annoying things. What is this, and how do I make it stop? That's this rock. There we go. I have to do it like that. Okay, so the slope is actually much more extreme than I have it set up here. I think it's more like this, which makes this transition a lot easier here. But yeah, there we go. Back. Nice. Nice, nice. I was watching. Hey, Aaron, you're in Uniques or in Duquesnes? Or are you in both? I forgot. I know you're in both of their chats, but I think you're a moderator of one of them, right? The reason I ask is because there was a technique that I know, that I figured out, that I think Unique needs to learn. And I wanted to let him know, but I'm not sure what the best way to do that is, because I don't want to just like tweet at him if he's not wanting tweets from people like that. I'm a mod of both. Okay, so basically what I noticed him doing, and I don't know if he knows better, because I was, like I said before, I usually miss his streams, but last night I was in his stream, and he did something that I've already found a workaround to solve, and I didn't know that I didn't know that it didn't occur to me that that other people might be struggling with it still, because I figured it out pretty quick at the very beginning, and I realize now that having been professional QA for years, it kind of trained me to just be like, oh, there's a bug here. How do we get around it so we can continue testing the game? Because I can't drop more bugs if I can't get around the bug, and then so if this thing constantly hinders my ability. So I'm used to doing that, and basically just immediately figured out a way to work around it by fiddling with some stuff. And I was wondering if you know if he's up for weird advice like that. I don't want to offend him being the smaller streamer after all. Not about in Duquesne's. Yeah. Well, for Twitch chats anyway. Yeah. Okay, so basically what he was doing, and you tell me if you've seen him do this before, because I think you watch his streams. If you've seen him do this differently before. So this object, right? It's got these two swatches. And he was solving, there's a problem. Let me just place one so you can see it from scratch. So, Halo design sets. I'll just do a wall. Yeah, we'll just do this one. Okay. It's got the orange, it's got the white. Whenever you go into it, you select you're like, I'm going to change the color to gray and, the same gray, right? And that will sort of solve this difference in color, right? And it's like, okay, cool. It doesn't actually solve it. And if you look really closely, you'll notice, let's see if this will be, prominent enough. If you look really closely, they're actually still slightly different shades of gray. Like if you get really close, you can see there's like partially it's that green coming off that light to tell a difference, but but you can kind of tell it's like slightly different shades of gray. And some of the objects are more extreme than that. But if you come in here, let me start over from scratch again so you can kind of see. I'll pick a different piece just in case it turns out to be a better example, because this one's getting really close. So basically, you select it, you go into the section, you notice there's color and then color spread, right? You select color, you go to gray, and you select color down here, you go to gray. These are both the same color. Maybe these are the same color. Yeah, anyway, they're really close, but they're not quite the same. Let me see. Was it the fourth one? Yeah, it was the fourth one. They're really close, but they're not quite perfect. But the point is that if you back out, you want to fix those color differences without having to change the color of the object, which is the problem. But I think he was saying, but he was just changing the color and then leaving it really dark. Like he made his Forerunner structures like practically black. You can really you can see it better. Like you can see the difference between the colors, the two shades right now, way better. I think than over there. And it used to be more extreme. I think maybe they fixed a bit of a bug. Anyway, you go out, you come back in, color spread is here, color here, and then there's a new one here, color intensity. And if you change this to 0, right? And you change this one to 0. Notice now they don't have any color applied. They're both at, this 0, this no color applied. But if you notice, the default object did not look like that. The default object looked like this. So the color, what's this 30 minutes follower only mode? You've got 2 votes for Twitch on your poll. Not a modded. Oh, do I have that activated? I was fiddling with options on the shield thing, and I didn't mean to leave that on. Followers only chat 30 minutes? What is that? I thought I put it to 30 seconds or something like that, and apparently I didn't. Yeah, okay. Let's not do that. Let's not do that at all. I thought it was like, I don't even know what I clicked there. I think I was fiddling with these options. Here, let me put it up here. You tell me. Oh, you can't see that very well. It's tiny in the corner. Anyway, I don't know Twitch options. I need to really look into that. Stinky followers only mode. There we go. It's not followers only mode. So, I did not realize that was going to be that was a thing. But anyway, so what I'm saying is that this one and this one, both, as you may have noticed as I was doing that, have design grid, no color applied. This one, design grid, no color applied. But they look very, very different. Because this white color that's applied over here is actually a color that's applied to the texture, to the object, and even like its own, like a texture. I think it's this one. No, it's the top one. Like there's like this thing has a color applied to it that's like a ghost color. It's sort of like that's overriding this, which is actually its base appearance. And it also blends the textures a lot better at that point there. Like you can see this really bad dividing line. Over here it's a little bit better. That's also because of scratches. the scratches are kind of like gather up around there and sort of look like sort of create a line like that, as you can see. But the point is that yeah, no, the texture is different. He did this to solve his problem, and it ended up looking like a slightly different shade there, and it looked a little iffy, like I did originally back in the day. But if you actually compare here, the you can actually fix it, and all you gotta do is go in, change the color to literally anything. You don't have to pick a special color. And then you go out and back in, and now color intensity appears. You set that to 0 on both, and you have completely reset the object to its correct default, because they have some, like I said, ghost colors applied. And yeah, that's something that I don't know if you've ever seen him do. Were you in Unique's chat last night? Yes, saying you'll watch again when he's back on Twitch. Oh wait, oh, she just meant Aaron. Okay, I was also in his chat. Yeah, I bet he was. Let's see. Aaron is the reason I switched over to Twitch in the first place. Okay, so let's delete this, because Aaron is, you know, can't chat. That popped up weird. Yeah, despite, held a message for a reason, swearing, allow, will post it to chat. Huh. Why doesn't it tell me what it is? Oh, I see it. Lamau, LMAO, is a swear word? Really? Okay, Twitch. Okay, I need to know some settings here. You guys, you gotta give me settings here to change, like, some stuff. I've got, like, terms and phrases is just empty. Like, I didn't add anything, it's just the default. Settings, like, there's, auto mod is level 4, and I don't know if that's a good idea. Or if, like, it just took LMAO and said it was a swear word. I'm gonna turn it down to 3. I just woke up and saw he was live and went back to sleep. Okay. Level 3, more moderation is maybe better. Try saying LMAO again with this different setting and let me know. To let me know if this is... I'm knocking on my door? Nope. Don't know. It's maybe a package, but who knows. There we go. Yeah. Wow. I laughed. That's a swear word. No. No, it's not, chat. Auto mod. Okay, let's see. So, obviously, I don't have a mod, so I've got to go with an auto mod, but... for now, but, geez. No fun allowed. Yeah. So this little spot I think is going to be a separate, like, little land piece. Before I go duplicating this, I need to change its texture and stuff because it is not set to my setting that I have down there, which is like all sorts of grays. It's set to like some weird green stuff and everything, and that was whenever I was thinking I was going to be able to use the one that adjusts to the ground. So we got 2 people voted for staying on Twitch, right? Over there. And just to be sure, that wasn't you twice, Aaron, was it? Just kidding. We got 5 viewers now. Welcome to the chat. As soon as I turned off that followers only chat, it started going up. Apparently that was a problem. Anyway, he runs those streams where you can go to sleep, wake up, and go to sleep again while he's still forging. I don't like YouTube streamers because I can't chat on console, and I don't want to use my phone every time. Twitch I can. I was the other vote. Cool. I was joking. I didn't think Aaron would game the system like that. I was just messing around. But yeah. Let's see. We've got this one, and what's my third color again? I think it's one lower. Yeah. Oh, what? They're all the same? I don't think that's the case for all the objects. All the dirt, all the ground objects. I think I might have done it differently. Are they all the same? I really could have sworn that I have lighter areas. Okay, I think something broke. I honestly think that something broke, because this is not how I had my ground set up. What about this one? This one's got lighter areas. Oh, I also didn't see, he didn't do this. Yeah, select all of. You can't even add someone. I prefer Twitch too. Better chat. Yeah, that's what Aaron was saying. I have not used Twitch ever. Like, I did a little bit, but not enough to matter. Wait, what? How come you can't? Okay, come on now. You can change the swatch colors of each of these objects if you select more than one of them. Select all of should continue that. Okay, cool. I just had more than one selected. Okay. So, that was another thing that I saw him doing. Unique. He didn't take advantage of that tool. He was manually selecting each and every one, and I wanted to inform him so badly of that tool, but I wasn't over at the chair. This is how I had it before. That looks so much better. Looks more like real. I wonder if it is not saving that, and that I need to like if that's not going to be if that's going to be a problem. I know there's a bug involving something like that. This is the one I need for this one. This one needs to be the darker color. Yeah, to make it more. In fact, I'd go so far as to say this one needs to be an even lighter color to match the rest of the ground. Like that, actually. By the way, this looks terrible in the daylight, but it looks good whenever it's dark. And I'm gonna change it up a bit to make it even smoother. I just got really fed up with working with it at the time. I built this out of terrain pieces because this thing has really shitty texture. It's like spiraling here and like stretching there, and it's like this is like amateur Blender, like brand new to 3D modeling texture job. And I don't know why that's the case with this one object where everything else has such amazing textures in this entire, thing. But this one I was going to use, and it's exactly the right shape for this piece. It's exactly what I needed in every way, except that the textures suck. Let's see. Mod settings are basically non-existent on YouTube. You have a delete message and a ban. That's about it. Yeah, exactly. And they're like really, I don't know, like low quality buttons to begin with. Like, I felt like I was just like, yeah, I don't know. It was like useless. It felt like, because I knew that bot was going to come back the next day, because all I can do is put them in a timeout. Like, it wasn't even like a ban option. It's like, put them in timeout. It's like, do what now? Get like a child? It's a bot. It doesn't care. It's not going to learn its lesson. Like, I didn't even see an actual, like, block option. But yeah. Only PC thing, pretty sure. Oh, with the texture thing? Or, oh, with the select all? Or which one did you mean? Like, it's just at the bottom of this menu. Hit select all of. Oh, or did you mean the texture is changing as a PC thing? You didn't read my message. Oh! Don't even think you can mod on mobile either. Oh! My bad. I missed the one right above that. Yeah, I got you. So it's just a, yeah, on YouTube. I see what you mean. I didn't even know you can mod on Twitch on PC, so. Let's see, let's not duplicate that one. I just want to duplicate these. Oh, I put it into the texture. Okay, well, I'll have to change that. Anyway, so this part needs to be slightly lower. And then I'm going to put a little slope there. It's also much more extreme. Get rid of that one, tap it again. Okay, it's for some reason going off of one of these objects. That one first, then these others. There we go. And that, yeah. I do think that on my end, I definitely got used to, wait, why didn't that give me control of my character? Okay, it was just a delay. I think on my end, seeing, like I just did, where I was where you said that, and I was like, oh, you know, and I basically misread it. I missed it almost entirely. That was because I feel like YouTube's chat lets me see. Maybe it's because I'm in nighttime mode up there. If I switch to daytime mode on my Twitch, it might be a little easier to read. But basically, I think I missed that just because of the way it looks up there. It didn't register in my peripheral. But I know I was missing some before, so I'm pretty sure, you know, like I keep saying, that I've got ADHD, and that'll probably end up doing that. It's like Rejected Shotgun in his chat. He misses things all the time. He misses donations, like donos on YouTube, and that's like, dude, pay attention. They're sending you money. But yeah. He's like, yeah, I got... He also undiagnosed ADHD because, of course, that's a symptom of ADHD, is that you will figure out you have it before you actually get it diagnosed, and then never get it diagnosed. This whole big old chunky piece is going to be inside this one, just to make this tiny little slope here. And y'all are going to know about it, but the players who play, the other players on the map, are never going to know about it. I'm going to make it look nice, not like poo-poo. There we go. You're going to know that there is a piece here, but they're not going to know that it's huge. Okay, we're going to drag it up with the mouse because it's definitely better to do that. I might make that actually protrude a little bit up like a bump. Now that's a good spot right there. That looks nice. Yeah. It feeds well with the textures around it. Okay. There we go. Hey, Unique! How's it going? Unique, I was watching you forge last night. And I don't know if you know these techniques and you just weren't using them, or if I can help you get slightly faster. Because you know more than me, but these few things I know might help you. And that was, I watched you go and grab the curved pieces all over your map. And you kept on struggling because there's a piece that you're clipping into and selecting by accident. And then you're having to deselect, and you did it like 2 or 3 times, and it's probably because you were sleepy that you didn't think of this tool, because you probably know about it. Let me just, because I know you stream a lot more than I do, so you probably got really exhausted. So if you select a piece and you go in here, just to remind you, I guess, right at the bottom of this list in your object properties is select all of. Just press A on that. You had a whole bunch of these curved, you know, the curved wall pieces, and you're going around having to manually select them to change all their textures. And most of your objects, it makes sense to do that because you had, you don't want them all to be the same texture. But all of those, you went around the whole map and selected every single one of them. And I feel like it was like, it could have been faster. But I just want to let you know, because I don't know if you know that one or if you did. And I'm sure you did know it. I'm just making sure. Because like I said, I bet you were just extremely exhausted from all of the streaming you're doing. All the good work you're doing. But I want to make sure. Let's see. And welcome to the stream, by the way. I don't mean to blindside you with immediately telling you about something. It's like, hey, you're here. Let me tell you about a mistake you were making. Sorry about that. I have to go around and manually select the ones I want textured, or all of them will be textured, and that means some of them I don't want textured will be textured. I know what you speak of. Yeah, okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure because it looked like with that one piece you were selecting all of them, but I also could have just been, I was only just getting into the stream, so I might have missed a few whenever I wasn't paying attention. So it might just be on me. I just was, it was obviously on me, but I just thought that maybe I should remind you just in the off chance. But yeah, you're the one, you're better than me at this. But I will say that we had similar thoughts on one thing, and that was that I didn't steal your technique on making maps by going into Blender and like remaking them one-to-one by going into Blender and stuff. I am about to steal your technique of going into the mod tools because I wasn't going to do that at all, and then I decided that I think I need that for the respawn points, even if I do everything else in a different way. Yeah, I think I'm going to change up the way that ground is working because this is not going to match up. But yeah, okay. And actually what I might do is feed... Let's see. What are your techniques you could help me learn with? No, you're here. I'm kidding. You're too busy for that. Okay, I want this to be sloped, but not in the way it is, and I think that what I need to do is actually rotate it and slope it this way because then put another piece over there because otherwise this isn't going to smooth out, and this may not work either. And I still got to play with my thickness. World ruler is the easiest way to measure scale properly. Is that what's the world ruler? Is that in Blender? Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about in like the mod tools? Have you set up stream elements yet? That's in mod tools. Okay, cool. That is a good idea, because yeah, then I could do this. I had not actually done that, and like I had told you yesterday, I've been missing your streams because I had been, well, probably because I wasn't getting notifications because it wasn't on YouTube. But I'm the opposite of Aaron. I only get notifications on YouTube. But yeah. So let's see. So I have not done the mod tools yet, so I'm kind of a noob there, so I'm going to learn those. I'm sure that with knowledge of Forge and knowledge of Blender, that shouldn't be too difficult to get used to, but yeah. And I've been watching Rejected Shotgun too for a long time. Alright, what am I doing here? I need to get this thing right so I can stop fiddling with it. I think that the main thing I need to do is actually flip this piece over. And the reason is because I can scale this down and use the slope of the actual top and line it up properly and then get my slope all at the same time. Have my cake and eat it too, essentially. All at once with the same piece and not have to worry too much about it. So yeah, I'll have to get more into the mod tools. Let's see, how did you make that piece, sir? Which one? You talking about that? The bridge? I'll have to wait until you respond. And then, let's see. By the way, a lot of the stuff I'm going to release as a prefab, so if you're interested in some of these pieces, they will be eventually coming out as... Okay, I need to make this more sloped, more of an angle. Oop. The answer is probably painstakingly and painfully, but I'll be more specific once I figure out which piece you're looking for. Tried using Blender and I couldn't get the map files to load in. I'd love to start scale remakes rather than eyeballing remakes. The ground piece. Oh, which piece? This piece right here is a ramp transition 4. Well, a ramp transition. It's just number 4. And it is like this. This is what it normally looks like. Is something like this. And it, I believe, has a bowl on the bottom. No, it's one of the ones with the flat ones. And all I did was, especially for that ground, I just flipped it over. And I did that because I didn't want the bottom to clip out of my rocks over here. This one right here. I didn't want it to clip out the sides of my rock, and it was one of the first things I did. And it looks kind of crappy, and I need to make it look nice again. But with the rock, what I did was I just added rocks to it. And I just placed them inside of it, clipped it inside of it a little bit. This probably needs to be adjusted. And actually, this could clean up my edge there. Ooh, that's ugly. Let's see. Let's flip it. Ooh, okay. Here we go. Suddenly a lot of people in chat. That's a bit of a... Suddenly they're here, and it was right after I deleted that thing. I don't know if it's because you went and told people to come and join me, Aaron, or if it was because of the advice you gave me about turning that thing off. But yeah, either way, I bet it was related. Okay, here we go. That's a good angle, and I just stick it in like this, and it looks pretty good. Just clip things inside each other to get yourself a nice, pretty texture. This still looks like, I mean, it's like literal. I think I picked that up from Rejected Shotgun, always saying things look like poo-poo. And I think this looks like literal poo-poo, because there's just this brown nonsense, and I think I need to get myself another rock and put it inside there. Just let it poke out a little bit. Sort of give it a proper angle. Proper, like, transition there. Give it some proper texture. I think, texture work is one of the coolest things about this forge compared to previous forges. It's the ability to just like do that and create new texture and like also change the texture of the object itself. Oh, your Discord. Yeah, I thought so. I figured he went and posted something because it went from like 3 viewers to like 10 to, you know, now it's settled down to 9. And that was definitely a little bit of a surprise. And I appreciate it. I very much appreciate it. Yeah. Let's see. Oop. Let me guess, you said that I was trying to give you advice so that you'd be in here, and then it turned out there was stuff you already knew anyway. I don't. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Okay, let's see. We need this little rock down here, which is kind of a weird little angle like that. And actually, it's kind of bumpy. I'll flip this over and scale it down some more. Might use that idea for a thing on my map. Oh, the rocks on the sides like that and everything? Yeah. That's really good. That is the one thing that I was saying a minute ago, I think before everyone jumped into stream, that I see, that I've seen the most with the maps that I've seen people making is that there seem to be still, it's like, it feels like people who were used to Halo 5's map maker and are used to the textures looking more like plasticky, so they settle when they really can do a lot with their textures and with their materials and stuff like that by fiddling around. I think I need to make this taller so it's not so wide at the base, and I can clip some rocks into it. But yeah, this is where I do eyeball a little bit, by the way, and it's where this is the kind of thing that I'm going to be going back into Blender and stuff like that, and that's not the best, so I do like the idea of going to the mod tools. Let's see. Unique, I'm telling you, force 200 viewers for publish, hold Guardian hostage. That would be great. Maybe even, it's like, ask for donos. They'll give it. No. That's where you start your Patreon. Get your Patreon going. Get people in there. Let them support you. Let's see. This one needs to be a little bit more flat. I think I'm going to put 2 of these land pieces inside of each other so I can have my hill, once again, have my cake and eat it too by flipping it over. And then I can put that inside of this one, and that will give me a very squarish shape that in Halo 2 looked like low polygon count, but in this one will look more like, in theory, that might mean I've got to fix this one's angles. But in theory, in this one, it will feel more like more detail. Just got to do this. We are the Nerd Forgers. We live, eat shit, out, forge content. I think that, because look, I come from the D&D community, and in the D&D community, people will Patreon all the time just to get people to make supplements. Like, oh, I want this class. Oh, yeah, and this person's making it. I'm going to go sub to their Patreon. And I feel like that could be a thing here to help people be more like full-time map makers. Because eventually, like Unique, you got to eventually, you're going to, you know, your real world is going to be calling. And whenever that happens, it's going to affect your output. And I feel like everybody knows that. That's realistic. But the so like a lot of forgers are, well, I mean, most of the, like you're streaming, so your stream is what you're trying to build. But like the with a lot of forgers, they're not going to be able to do a stream, and that is where a Patreon would like help them, like make it a part-time job almost, or like at least a supplemental income. But don't know if that's actually going to catch on. I made one, but don't expect anyone to put anything in there anytime soon. Like I don't even know if I'm going to be able to if I'm going to do any of that. But I know some people should be able to pull that off, I think, by making really good maps. I'd have to make a map first. This is the first one I've made, so it's taken this long. First one for, obviously, Infinite. Okay, here we go. We've got our jump. That's, obviously, I can do a little bit more to make it look a little nicer, but that's looking good so far. This piece can come over here to sort of fill out that. It may not even be necessary, actually. Yeah, no, that goes below the ground. Let's see. Oh, you got lots of stuff. I got one, lol. This is my real world. I got too many started. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You got a lot of maps. And actually, yeah, exactly. Okay, well, everyone go sub to his Patreon. I haven't put my Patreon in any description here. It's only on my YouTube so far, but I know that yeah, it's gonna. I think everyone should go sub to your Patreon, to be honest. That is definitely a subbable one. I've got kids. I can't sub to someone else's Patreon right now. But not right now anyway. But I'll definitely gladly push people to try to sub to yours. Maybe I should leave this piece out, because this honestly looks really good. And I mean, it's not like 100% accurate because of the fact that it's supposed to be. Here we go. This will kind of add a bit more rubble if I can get a place where the textures line up good. Let's see. That's a little iffy. Looks bad. I mean, it looks a lot. All of the texture transitions on these terrain pieces look a lot better once I get the darkness of the cave activated. Like I've been turning on the lighting, like changing the lighting for the map and getting it to be darker from time to time, and it looks a lot better in the darkness for anyone who is new to the stream. But yeah, looks a little bit better, and I think in the dark it's gonna look really nice. But yeah, it's like whenever you turn off the lights, everyone's attractive. Let's see. I just bought another game. Lol, don't do that. I just build maps. What game? Let's see. He forged good. Yeah, no, I think that, I mean, you just build maps, but listen, I'd pay $10 for a map pack from 343 Industries if it was a good map pack and they weren't charging me for cosmetics. You're not charging me for cosmetics. Why wouldn't I support your Patreon? Obviously, I am too poor for that. But yeah, if I had just a little bit extra disposable income, I would absolutely be throwing it at your way. So you say don't do that, but I mean, come on. That's part of a streamer's income, according to everyone that I've ever seen talking about it. I'm too new to streaming to be the expert on that, but that's what everyone else has said. Is that's part of your lifeblood. You're making t-shirts? You should make t-shirts. Merch! That's what streamers do, apparently. Oh, man. Make a t-shirt this good. And I'll buy it. This is a Legend of Zelda, obviously, Majora's Mask, but yeah. Make a Halo t-shirt that good, and I'll buy it. Let's see. eForge good. Need for Speed Unbound. It's 15 euro. I mean, I keep saying euros. I said it again. Oh my god. Off and only released yesterday. You need to remind me what that currency is, because I probably will keep saying euros until I actually look it up, or you tell me. I will just keep doing it. I think that's... I have an idea of what it is, but at the risk of saying another stupid thing of what I think it is, you know, instead of, obviously, because I keep saying euros, instead of saying that, I would rather you just tell me what it is, so I can just avoid that. Instead of being a dummy American. Let's see. Let's see here. Let me get this angle a little back to right, because that, I just realized is clipping through. This will fix that. Oh, wait, did I make it longer? I made it shorter. Okay, well, meant to make it shorter. Pounds, yes, exactly. Oh, man. Put it this way. I have only seen most of the United States. I have not been outside the United States. Like, literally at all. I don't think I've never even been to Mexico. Like, I can't think of any time whenever I was a kid or anything. Okay, I think that my issue here is that I need to grab this and drag it out. Drag this out. And this a bit. Can be rotated and dragged a bit. It looked nice before, but I think, or maybe I can make this less tall, and then I can disappear it into the cliff a little more, because the angle of the dirt will be different. Yeah, okay. That looks a little better. I don't know. It needs more dirt, but anyway, yeah. Both making you're both making quality content, saving the game one map at a time. I hope so. I hope so. Not like saving the game, but like doing our best to like affect change, I suppose. Like, I think I've said this theory multiple times, but now I need to know what you guys think, and I want to know what Unique thinks about this too. Is that so Aaron's gonna be like, oh, this again, probably. But okay, so I have this theory that the entire reason that theater mode is broken, that custom games mode is broken, that and even the netcode has been broken, is because you can't finalize code until until it's built on top of other finalized features. So if you have finalized code in, let's say, if you're trying to make code for theater mode, you need to track every object in the match, right? Everyone knows that. It's a better theater mode than like anyone else. It doesn't just record the video of the match. It tracks the actual location. How many times am I going to have to scale this thing down to make it actually fit here? Jeez. Is that yeah? So you're gonna theater mode tracks. It's cooler than all other theater modes in like every other game, because it tracks the actual events of the match. And then you and the thing about that is, though, all of these forge objects, every single one of them has to be tracked for its location, and they all need to be dynamic. So like if you switch them to dynamic, you need to be able to move them, and it needs to track all of that movement. So theater mode can't track objects until it knows all of the objects it needs to track and make sure it can be debugged and then upgraded to actually recognize all the objects. And not only that, but the scripting. The scripting is going to move objects, and it needs to be able to track the movement of those objects and all that kind of stuff. Theater mode has to be programmed to work with all of that, but it also has to track the location of flags and things like that, and those are other objects that need to be placed. So until Forge mode is done, they can't make theater mode. And Forge mode wasn't done until recently. So that's my theory, is that theater mode, custom games, same thing. You can't do custom games. You can't do infection unless you have a spawn point for zombies. And if that game object doesn't exist in Forge, then you can't release the game mode yet. And making new maps. They were like, it's so hard to make new maps. It takes, all this time. And yes, it takes time to QA test and all that kind of stuff, new maps. True. Making the new maps, like they couldn't make some remakes in really quickly, or anything like that, or they couldn't have been QA testing more maps at a time. Seems a little bit odd, and a lot of people are critiquing that, and I think that it has to do with, let's see, I switched between mouse and keyboard and controller. I think I saw that you were doing like Unique, you were doing like all keyboard, and that was I was watching you, I was like, wow, I don't think I can do that. But yeah, so basically, like if it like Forge, it's not, I'm not saying that Forge is to blame, but Forge not being out might have been the like I don't want to throw Forge under the bus or the Forge team. I'm saying that Forge not being finished might have caused the delay in Forge, and rather the too early release for everything else might have caused a lot of these issues we're seeing. Just from, I was in QA, so that's just from a QA's perspective. So yeah, Waterworks hype, exactly. Let's see. I don't know if Unique is still here. I've only been to Canada, Lake, something, and fishing was so good. I stopped fishing when I came back to the States. You just stopped entirely when you came back to the States? Or you just you only fished while you were there? Because it was fun while you were there. I used to fish when my papa was still alive. I used to fish with him. But, yeah. That was cool. But, not so much since then, unfortunately. But yeah. Let's see what we got going on here. We got the cliff. I need to finish up this cliff because it actually shapes the angle of this wall, I think, from there. Yes, literally, fishing was so good, it wasn't the same ever again. That's amazing. That's a good endorsement. Okay, so I definitely just messed up my wall whenever I was trying to fix it. Or, like move it in. It needs to be... I need to switch back to object mode. I assume it looks like Unique has left, so because he's probably you know, got to go back to his own forging or gone off to sleep, like y'all were saying. Go to bed. Yeah, he streams a lot, does a lot of good work. I can't wait to play his maps. I think he's streaming. Yeah, that's what I figured. He probably jumped over into his own stream. Okay, so let's see. How to get this. I bought Need for Speed around for Unbound for Christmas. Oh, cool. What do you call the other purchases? Not for Christmas? This is like Thanksgiving, Christmas time. You're like, you bought all these other games and you're like, yeah, I got this one for Christmas. That just made me laugh. Sorry. I think this needs to come in as it goes, because it has to go sort of curve around like kind of hug the wall. So that looks better. And then I need to put a stalagmite there. I like these more. I built them out a little better. Maybe not this one. Maybe this one. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they don't look better. Who knows? These other ones are more like 2 rocks. This is 3 rocks. Makes it a little better, but you need to scale it down because actually, you know what? That's hilarious. They just clipped it into the floor. I know that shape. They just clipped theirs into the floor. I bet if I go down there to 3D model, they probably deleted the polygons that are down below. But now I'm curious. I got Wonderlands for Christmas. It's on my card, then it's not for... Oh, if it's on your card, then it's not for Christmas. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Gonna hit L, linked objects. Look at this, look at this. This is just, boop, look at that. It's just a whole stalagmite sticking out of the ground in the original Waterworks. They just clipped it into the wall. They're literally doing here what we do in Forge all the time, where we clip things into the wall. Which is, Bethesda does that a lot too. I don't know if you've ever gone into the construction set editor. What? Don't I have 2 objects? Yeah, I do. Here's the second one. It's not necessary anymore because it's clipping into the wall. So I can just delete it. But yeah. Let's see. I'm going to go here and just leave that like that. I think that... Nope, a little farther. This would be more like here, I think. Yeah, which does make that nice little tight spot. That sounded dirty. Let's see. We're gonna go... Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, it does slope a little more. So I do need to... Now that I can see that. Let's see if it's on... Okay. Go in game and see if you can destroy it. If you don't, I'm gonna have it too. My grandparents offered to buy it for me, and I wanted to go half on, but they said no. Nice, nice. Gosh, this is gonna be real dumb, but but I just got. I still remember to this day one of my favorite birthday presents was Mary Poppins from my Nana. I thought it was gonna suck because I was a little kid and I was like, I want Batman Forever. Why aren't she? No, I want the DVD Batman Forever, and not DVD, VHS Batman Forever, and she was like, nope. Nope, that's too violent. And I was like, but I like Batman. My mom lets me watch Batman. I've seen this in theaters. It's fine. She's like, nope, I'm going to get you Mary Poppins. And I had not seen Mary Poppins yet. And I was like, sorry, that was a dumb story. Slope there. Okay, let's see. Because you're talking about grandparents getting gifts. That's just what made me think of that. Okay, let's see now. I'm gonna go back to Blender for this. We're getting into my edit. This is what I'm gonna do with my version. I just threw this, like, literally copied and pasted the geometry over here for this thing, for this image. But this is what I'm gonna do with my glow up version, since there's new people in chat. And my glow up version is gonna be the one after the 1-to-1. This is gonna be 100% exactly like Waterworks, as best I can get it. So I guess 99% exactly like Waterworks. And then I'm going to make a glow-up version. And the glow-up version is going to be based on some... I got to have a conversation with Max Hoberman about it. And, of course, it's freaking Max Hoberman, so I'm like, yes, I'm doing this. I'm doing this as the first map I'm making. Yeah. So, actually, I do need this to be sloped a little more still. Yeah, that was really cool. Max the Legend, exactly. It was on Twitter, so by conversation with him, I mean I literally just had a conversation with him. I literally just had a back and forth message thing. But yeah, it was pretty cool. We talked about the failings of Waterworks from back in the day, like its class, like going all the way back to Halo 2, and how it could be better. And the main criticism he said was not enough forward momentum for the defenders. Like you end up with a lot of the times you end up with the people just staying in their base, hanging out. This is my extrapolation of what he had said, because that was basically how he worded it, was exactly what I just said. No, not enough forward momentum. What's your cave roof look like? This for now. Very, very generic for now. It's like repeated patterns, but it, I think, is pretty good because people aren't going to look up that much. And I don't have stalactites yet. Whenever I get the stalactites, I'm going to code them, but I'm not going to put them up there until I get more of the roof built out. They will be destructible. They will fall. I might make these destructible even in my glow up version, but I want this one to be 1-to-1, like play a lot like it. And then my glow up version is like your version. Like, in my opinion, Bloodline is better than Coagulation and Blood Gulch. Bloodline is the superior version. And that's blasphemous, even to me, having, been a fan since 2003 when I first started playing the game. Man cannons give forward momentum. Yeah, I suggested the man cannon. He said he wasn't sure about the man cannon. That was the one thing I had. Basically, he said what the criticism was, what his criticism of it was. And that was, not enough forward momentum. I know you were being like literal and it was kind of a joke, but basically, yeah, he was like, yeah, so, I basically proposed a bunch of changes and he approved them essentially, or, as far as like, he probably wouldn't consider that approving them because, but yes, I consider that, Max Hoberman's approval of these things because he said, those look great. He was like, yeah, he was really enthusiastic about it. But I bet he'd be like, no, you didn't run that by me, because he's a very cool guy, very humble, does a good job with his employer, like his company and everything like that, to where it's like super well run in like a very progressive sort of way, from what I understand. Looks really cool. Anyway, there was an article recently about that. Right after I talked to him, I was like, okay, article, cool, I'm reading that. I probably would not have read an article about how he runs a business before that. But yeah, it's a joke, but I was serious too. Exactly. But yes, they give you literal forward momentum, but they also throw you halfway across the map, so you're not at base anymore, and you have the decision now, do you want to keep going to the enemy base and become an attacker, or do you want to return to your base and start defending again? And so they literally do provide forward momentum. And so I actually did have a man cannon in my suggestion. He was like, I don't know about the man cannon. I was like, okay. But the other ones he said he liked, so. I'd kill to have all the OG Bungie guys together making Halo again. Max, Jason, when he cared, Joe, etc., Marty, exactly. Yeah, I agree. I mean, who do we got to murder to get them together? No. I'm sure that Twitch is gonna like flag me for saying that. Jeez, I don't even know what I was thinking. Anyway, the point is that so basically, the point is that yeah, if we let's try not to get banned from Twitch immediately after I start streaming over here. But but yeah, the point is that by the way, Marty's back in social sphere. I'm sure everybody knows that already, but that's kind of cool. He's uploading. He's unhiding his videos. I just hope he brings the big stage back, because that was actually pretty cool. I liked that series a lot. I think I'm gonna put a rock there to hide that seam, that ugly spot. Just gonna stick a rock right in there. Just gonna get a nice little and then I've got to check to make sure all my let's see, all my seams are good and my measurements are good. But yeah. Oh, he had a great visit on another YouTuber's channel who's also a composer. Oh, I saw that. Yeah, that was really cool. And they were talking about the Doom guy. Not the Doom guy. Not the actual guy from the game. But the musician from the Doom games that was getting like screwed over by, ironically, another guy named Marty, who's like in charge of, he's like the producer in charge of Doom. I was following that story, but I don't remember anybody's names, so I can't remember their names either. Yeah, let's see. I remember fake names, like unique, better than I remember people's real names. And I remember fake characters' names. But for some reason, real people's names, it's like the file hasn't been saved in my brain yet. Like, the folder can't be named because it's not full, because you're a real person, and so I don't know everything about you. There's no way I ever will, so I'll end up forgetting your name almost forever. But then if I see unique, I'm like, that's his online persona. I know everything about that because it's a finite amount of, well, not everything, but I know enough about that. There's a finite amount of information out there, so I can save off that folder's name. That's fine. But real people's names, not so much. It's terrible. It's like yeah. Anyway, yeah. I don't know if I could do destructive stalactites on my map. It was a good match. They just nerded out over music and stuff for 2 hours. It might be OP. Mick. Lol, I'm the same, except I also have brain storage for characters and actors. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, actors actually I can't for most of the time, except Benedict Cumbersnatch. No, I have no idea what his name. I mean, yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch. But the point is that I can never remember anyone else's names, and I always mix up Ian McKellen and Ewan McGregor, yeah, all that stuff. Like, it's bad. Actually, I don't need another one of these because all of these are going to feed into rocks that actually go down to the ground level once I know what the ground level is. Let's make sure that I've got all of this measured correctly and fall to my doom. No, let's see. Okay. So just going to stand at this rock and look that way and compare it to standing at this rock and looking that way from here. That's pretty close. I may have made it too long. Let me go back and study that in Blender to see how much shorter I need to make it if it is too long. Ooh. Let's go in here. No, yeah, I agree though. I also, like, I've got storage. Yeah, I did definitely make this way too long. Look at that. I have brain storage for people. I mean, for like, I'll put it to you this way. I've forgotten my own name when asked, "What is your name?" I have been like, before. And it was one of the many things that makes me sympathize with William Thatcher, not just the name. William Thatcher from A Knight's Tale, because yeah, he had the exact same thing going on, where he's Sir but yeah, anyway, I think that this means that my angle the slope must not be right, because it won't clip in there correctly. I feel like, okay, well maybe, around here. Let's see, that looks about right. Can't believe I'm having to redo this whole section. I mean, I can believe it because I was, you know, having to eyeball it. This is where Unique's technique comes in, and I should really learn mod tools. I mean, like I said, I've been watching Rejected Shotgun long enough. I should have learned mod tools a long time ago. Okay, so still probably not close enough. My that thing is pretty spot on my scale, so it should be matching up. But actually, the roof is looking pretty close to identical. Maybe my angle's a little off, but I think it's more that my rock juts out too far right there. Because let's see, because the angle is extremely important. If I get the angle wrong, then the base may be positioned incorrectly, and I think I have. I think that all of this needs to be adjusted. Don't you just love it when you get to a point in Forge and you're like, literally everything needs to be moved? And back in Halo Reach, you'd be like, never mind, I'm not doing that. But now you can select more than one object at once, and it's fantastic, and you can select the first object in a very strategic way, and then you can rotate all of them off that one object, and the whole thing shifts angles really easy, and you can come over here and just fly into position. Just sort of like go off of that stalagmite, and I couldn't have done this until the stalagmite was in position. So this is literally the only time I would have to adjust it this way. And I think I'm getting to that point. There we go. That looks like the right angle. Gosh, I love this forge. This is so nice. Like the distinction between this and like Blender is getting thinner and thinner. Whenever the you know, they showed off, I mean, whenever I started trying it with just the mouse and keyboard, like Unique does, I'm like, geez, I really need to like I was like the whole time I was like, I want this to be I really want to just have this work like Blender. I want the one-to-one controls act exactly like Blender, so I can shift and drag to move around, and it was just not, obviously that's not the way it's built, and there's nothing to do about it. And you can't remap buttons, I don't think. At least I tried to and didn't see an option for it. Let me know if I'm wrong about that. But yeah, pretty sure you can't remap the buttons for it, which is unfortunate. That's a weakness of the tool, but whatever. Let's see. Almost there. Do y'all know who William Thatcher is? It's from A Knight's Tale. He's Heath Ledger's character. It's one of my favorite movies. I think I've mentioned it before on back on my YouTube channel. That's one of my favorite movies. But okay, so this is supposed to slope back, I believe. Let me double check that. I want to get this right. Okay, so the problem that I'm having is not that it needs to slope back, it's that I need more pieces. A lot of the times, like, I was building it with more smaller pieces on the other side of the cave. I've got all this, by the way, as well. And it's going to be duplicated across the other side, so you can really consider this, it's going to be like 10 to 30 minutes of work duplicating it all over and making sure it's all right, and then suddenly I'll have two sides of the map, so this is really getting closer and closer to the other side. Okay, so I need it to slope back like it's doing, but there's one, I need it to be shorter. Ooh. I need that to come down and to be inside of all this, and then to have that go up into like a little alcove. Oop, this is a different piece. And that should be pretty good. Let's see. Here we go. Unique is too humble, or he's just the right humble. But like when I said everyone should go sub to his Patreon, he was like, "No, don't do that." Yeah, no. I think everyone should have. I think everyone should, and I will do it as soon as I have the extra money myself. To be honest. I think everyone who can should, obviously. Obviously, that's entirely up to you, but I'll say you should, and yeah, let you decide. But yeah. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, we can bring this. Okay, this needs to come out farther because this is not supposed to be so thick. But more importantly, I think that my... Okay, so I'm not adjusting... Okay, cool. So I was worried that I knew I was going to need to bring out the cliff, but then it wasn't looking right whenever I went to do it, so I think it's actually this. This needs to be readjusted back. I had this apparently at a decent angle before, because it's supposed to come in and then go back out, and then come back in again. Everyone subs to each other, the money just floats around, and you all break even. Exactly. It's like, honestly though, like if I sub to him and he sub to me, here's the thing, there's a psychological thing about that. When people see that others are willing to sub to send you money every month, then because even you have one sub, it makes you go, okay, this creator's worth subbing to. And it can make you can bring that person who's just on the fence a little bit farther to go, okay, no, I'm going to sub to it too. So like that actually would work if we were to do that. I think it's kind of scummy, kind of gaming the system a bit, so I probably won't. But so I definitely won't. But but it does technically. I'll put some rock around this. Why wouldn't I have rock? They don't have rock because they just clipped it into the wall. But I can actually make this slightly better. Rock would form around this stalagmite and not just be sand. You know, I mean there would be sand going up to it from one side. But let's make this actually come out like this, and just put some rock on one side where it would blow away or rinse away, you know, off the edge of the cliff. Like the dust would rinse away on this side as the water drips down, potentially, especially if it drips down in large droves. But then around on this side, the sand would fall into it because it's a slope and gather up. Does that make sense? Let's see. What up, what up? Welcome to the stream. Makes you feel good though. Yeah. Exactly. It's like, oh, we're all sharing with each other, and none of us is making any money, but at least we all feel happy about it. Let's see. You got all the chatters coming in now. Yeah, for real. Like, yeah, I see what you mean. Chat is definitely not like chat is better. Like you guys are better necessarily. Like you guys are definitely better than what I was saying on YouTube. But what I was gonna say was that chat, the mechanics are definitely better, and it's incentivizing you guys to actually talk, whereas YouTube is not so much. And I definitely see what you were saying now. 100%. Yeah. I was still a little on the fence. Obviously, you know that. I think this needs to come in a little bit more now. I was just about to read some more chat. Let's see. You got all the chatter. I can spare it instead of buying from the Infinite Store. Better value to give the creator directly IMO. Yeah. Hi, Aaron. What you doing? What you building? What am I building, or what is Aaron building? I'm going to say you're probably talking to me because, yeah, Aaron's not on stream building, so I'm going to assume you meant me. And I'm going to say, and yeah, I'm building Waterworks. See? Waterworks. Beautiful, beautiful Waterworks. 1-to-1. And a bit of eyeballing. It's probably what's taking me so long is because I'm not doing it the way Unique does it. And, yeah. And I should be doing it the way Unique does it, as we were talking about earlier. But yeah, I think that this rock can angle a little better now. And go in there. Oh, nope, it's hiding a grossness. It's hiding a bit of the terrain piece. I'll just undo the rotation because it's basically exactly where it needs to be to hide that terrain piece. Alright, well, I can fix the terrain piece later if I feel like it's no good, but for now I'll just leave that there. Ooh, nice, nice. Yes, exactly. I play almost exclusively Big Team Battle, by the way. That's why I'm going into Waterworks first. Sidewinder is my absolute favorite map of all time. And eventually I'm going to get to that. I did see someone just made that, though. I keep on realizing that I'm not doing this quite right. This has got to go really far in, and then I can, you know, actually rotate this stuff back out. But I'm going to do that after I duplicate this and put this in here and actually rotate it this way to have it come back out. So, Aaron, you knew your stuff. This Twitch's chat is definitely superior. Let's see. I play exclusively Forged. Well, yeah. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, YouTube viewer experience isn't great, but it's better cash deal for creators though, and bigger user base. Too bad they're all so stingy about multi-streaming. For live, I mean. I don't even play Halo anymore. I'm a level 2 or 3 on my winter pass. I just kick ideas around in my head and forge. Yeah, same with both of y'all. I have been. We'll say that I got to what, like 14 on the winter pass. So I'm not that quite that low. I did like, get some more progress, but yeah, I'm basically the same right now. I think that until the desync issue occurs, they're going to have a lot of people, or it gets fixed, they're going to have a lot of people do that. They're just like, I see the potential of this game and I want to invest in it. I want to invest my time in it, but I don't feel like investing my time through the actual gameplay. And because of the way that it's so buggy. But I'm willing to invest my time through Forge because I like Halo. I don't even have Halo installed. Oh yeah. You told me that you got frustrated and uninstalled it, or was it just so that you could install those other games? I think you said that in my YouTube chat at some point. Was it because you just installed other games, or was it because you got frustrated? That's what I want to know. It's like, now I'm curious. They're releasing an update very soon to fix bugs. Yes, and I'm very excited for that update. I've definitely heard of that. And I can't wait. I really hope that that it works. Burnout, yeah. That's what it was, yeah. He said it was Burnout, yeah. And not because you installed Burnout, the game, but because you got burned out on Forge specifically, but just Halo in general, I'm sure. But yeah. Yeah. So instantly recovered to my viewership from I never, like at my best parts, my peak on YouTube, it was like 9. I think one time I got to 11 and I was like, oh wow, 11 viewers. And in no time at all, you guys have gotten me back up to that over here. So yeah, definitely appreciating this this chat, really making it more pleasant for you guys to like be able to hang out and actually like, you know, participate and stuff. Let's see. I know, like, this is probably all like not news to you guys at all. Y'all are actual Twitch people, like Twitch like viewers. I'd never got myself into Twitch, so I'm just sitting here like, wow, look at the difference. like it's new. Like Twitch never existed before. Like a boomer. Okay, there we go. That looks good for that path. Took a little bit of tweaking there. Okay, distance is right there. Now the distance should be around correct over here, because honestly I had it pretty close this way. And then we'd be feeding into the more cliff, and eventually into base whenever I make my tweaks. I do need to fill this hole in and make this groove actually look like it makes sense. There's people in chat talking. Let's see, is that why Duquesne hasn't been playing Infinite as well? Oh, probably because, yeah, we're all forging and it takes so freaking long. Look, we made a promise to you guys. I made a promise when I started making this map. And now I don't get to play. I get to forge. And I'm not actually upset about that, because I've always wanted to make Halo. And by making it into a stream, I can, like, you know, get sort of my own, like, returns, so to speak. Maybe I shouldn't be tweaking this too much because I got that one in a good spot. This could be my little groove because it's honestly not that high up. I think I am going to do that as my groove. And this is going to be, honestly, like I need another one. I just need to put it. But yeah, it's kind of like being able to develop Halo because they're dropping the ball so much that we're able to come in and step in and almost live the dream. Not really, because I'm not getting like paid. I'm not being able to choose the creative directions and stuff. But well, I kind of am, but not really. Okay. When it comes to Waterworks, will you be closing it out as it was in Halo 2 via cave formation, breaking crystal, calcite, spell check, or splatter kills? Yes, I'm going to close it out. It's going to have a cave, and it's going to go all the way up. And yes, I'm going to put destructible pieces that fall down. And they'll be 1-to-1, so they'll be as limited as they were in the original one, which like you can never get them to kill anything in the 1-to-1 version. Then I'm going to make an updated version that is no longer 1-to-1. It will be updated based on a conversation I had with Max Hoberman about the failings of the original Waterworks. And yeah, and that one is going to be there are a couple of changes that I'm going to make that I proposed to him that he liked. And then there's, I'm going to change up the stalactites. In my mind, I've got a couple of ideas. Some stalactites are going to drop like they did in the original, probably the original ones. Maybe I'll replace one of them with a newer version. But some of them I want to break apart and make it immediately shatter and fall apart into like 5 chunks instead of just one big one. Some of them I want to shatter when they hit the ground, so they almost like explode out and these rocks get thrown out from that position for a pretty good distance. And some of them I want to splinter vertically, which I don't think is realistic for them, for the way stalactites form, that they would break this way, but I don't care. Where they splinter vertically to become like these sort of like flat pieces, which I'll have to find the right kind of rock that might work there, because they've got to be dynamic objects and you can't scale that, so I may not be able to do this idea. This particular idea might not be doable. But if I can do like flat splintered pieces that come out of it and then fall over and become like long cover, to where it's kind of like I'll talk while I forge if I can, to where it's kind of like trenches. It'll almost build trenches out of like nowhere, out of thin air, as you like after you shoot down, and allow you to sort of like approach the bases on foot a little easier, etc. You know, and those are some of the ideas I have. I also had the idea of one that would stick into the mud, that would come down, hit right in a muddy spot, and just stab into the ground and basically become a mite almost. Those are my ideas. But yes, okay. So I am behind on chat. I don't know if you've said anything to me. Duquesne been foraging. Why no stream it? Probably busy, I guess. I don't feel bad for people who forge. I would play a 10-minute campaign mission, then spend the next 3+ hours in theater mode for screenshots. LOL. Yeah, exactly. Viewers get a return to a new map, not the typical exchange for a viewer beyond just the live stream. Exactly. You should save instead of quick saving. Quick saving is unstable, and if your game crashes, has a chance of getting corrupted. Waterworks original build 1-to-1 ice breaks remake map. I don't know what you mean by the ice break thing, and I've not had quick save break this entire time, and I'm really worried now. Are you serious? I've been building a lot. The central structure is especially terrible. Like as far as like, God, these angles had to be precise and so detailed. I know a lot of you guys haven't seen this, so I guess I can walk around a little bit in here. And actually, let me do it like this. There we go. It's all way too bright in here. I'm going to change the lighting soon. Don't worry. But everything is exactly as it should be. And including, look at that, ladders. And look at this. You can climb them. And those of you who know Waterworks for real, whoop, there we go. What the heck is going on? It's all bugging out on me. That is not the ladder problem. That is a network issue, I think. Okay. That doesn't normally happen. Anyway, you look down, you fall. You look up, you go up. You look down, you fall. Backwards. You look up, nothing happens. You look down, you start climbing. You look up, you fall. Just like Halo 2. This was a fun script to make, and took a lot of work, and actually, GB Klin on on you know, Twitter. He helped me out with that a lot. And yeah, so that's pretty cool. I hadn't shown that off to anybody on Twitch, but yeah. I really like this. Yes, good, cool. Let's see. Yes, happened to a buddy of mine pretty often. Oh, that's not good. I wonder if it's a network thing, in addition to a save thing. Like when you try to save, if your network connection is messed up in some specific way, then it can cause problems. Because I imagine that because I hadn't heard of it, I assumed that it's not like everyone's problem, but I could have just not been in the know, and now you're making me worried. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust this, because this is terrible rock front. Let's see. Bring this down here. I'm gonna put more wall here and angle this in more, because it is supposed to be angled, and maybe that's what my problem was this whole time. There, problem solved. This is supposed to be more angled right outside here, but it used to be a different piece. I was going off a different piece that was there. So that's interesting. And that means I need to bring it out more and angle it more and bring it out more. I don't like that it's like curving right here necessarily. I don't know that the original one pokes out that far there, but it does poke out sort of right here. So that's kind of... oop, nope. There we go. Let's see. Nice, I hate it. If you do a real save by pulling up the pause menu, then you're good. Okay. I will do that from now on, from time to time. I'll do quick save as well, but because I haven't had the problem myself, but I will definitely start doing that. If there's a bug, I definitely don't want that bug. I think this area needs to be adjusted, because I don't want it to be... Yeah, I've got it in reverse. That's the problem. It's supposed to be like... I was like, there's going to be a clamor point here. That's not what I want. I don't want a hidey hole. That's not in the original map. I want an actual, you know... I want this to be 1-to-1, so I just realized that I need to... This angle is wrong. It's supposed to be like sloped into here. There's a single polygon. There's a vertice right here that it all comes into, and a vertex. A vertice would be incorrect. And I need it to come up like this, and then there should be a point up here where it all feeds into. So I need another one to sort of be here. And actually, I don't know what I'm doing. I've got one right here. Let's see. This one needs to be adjusted to where it... Oh, no, that's the one I'm just... No, hold on. There was another one back here, I thought. Is it this piece? Maybe I'm just thinking that piece. Okay, well, I'll grab this one again and duplicate it like I was doing before and fix it. So basically, this needs to be in here, thusly. There we go. And that kind of creates the diamond effect that's right here. And then this piece needs to come out and be possibly sloped differently. And down. And maybe be a heck of a lot longer. Because it's not touching that wall over there anymore, and I need it to. Okay, so... I could do this with more than one piece, and I think that this thing is getting so big, I should do that. Which will allow me to have more contour shape, and a little bit of a better design here. Let's see, let's duplicate it. Okay. Let's bring this up. And there. Ooh. So I was on the fence about switching to Twitch, but now, Aaron, I am convinced. You were right. Very good. Now, let's see if you can stand anywhere on here. And nope, and you fall. Cool. Okay, so I've got the shape in the wall, and it makes you fall. Cool. Okay. Amazing ladder script. Don't miss ladders. LMAO. LMAO. Yeah, I'm taking them out of my... I've got the ladder in there for the 1-to-1. When I glow up, I'm probably going to put little graph lifts. So I put all that effort into just the 1-to-1 version. Whenever... I mean, unless everybody tells me otherwise and they're like, no, I need the ladders. We need the ladders. I think ladders would be really cool in infection mode. Because they would make like this really frantic, like, gotta get away kind of effect. But aside from infection mode, it's like they're kind of like, oh geez, no, let's make something that's a little better than this, guys. You know? Okay, so my roof definitely comes out at a much steeper angle, or the wrong angle. Their roof comes out at a much steeper angle, and I need to fix that because I was just placing those objects there and they were wrong. Very wrong, which means this thing needs to rotate. It used to come out the right angle whenever I had the path down there not built out, and I was thinking in terms of I was making the whole scale too big. So it was working before. What is this piece, and why is it so small? Okay, I'm gonna rotate this. I'm gonna keep it. I'll put it here and sort of use it as a transition piece between those two pieces. But also, this needs to be very deep compared to how I have it. Let's see, that looks like we're still not steep enough. Okay, let me get the slope and then we'll figure out how to place it. There we go. That's the slope. And these pieces were to transition between my previous slope and there, but now it's like they're practically the same angle. But here we go. Now I can really get this stuff. Now that I've got that there. I know. It's repeating the same thing over and over again. At this point, I'm having to freaking fiddle with these over and over, but we will get this done, and then we'll move on to the next part. Let's see. Okay. So I think this is where we go here. Okay. And we are getting... Oh, man, my kids are going to be waking up soon. In fact, the fact they're not awake is actually a bad thing, and I should be going and waking them up because they've got schoolwork to do. I know it's the weekend. They didn't do all of this. They took a day off in the middle of the week because that's what you do whenever you're homeschooled. You can just do stuff. You just be like, screw it. And it's not really homeschool, like I keep saying. It's charter school that like is from home, but it's on computer, and it's really cool, and it's the future. It's the future of education. But for now, it is enabling them the same way I was enabled as a homeschooler myself to just take off a day in the middle of the week and just be like, yeah, I'm just not going to do schoolwork today. It's like, guys, you're supposed to be doing school. And they're like, yeah, but I don't want to. And it's like, yeah, I understand that, but you do have to. So you're just going to end up having to do it on the weekend. And they're like, oh, and then now I'm letting them learn their lesson. I want them to learn through doing. Let them learn the mistake themselves, and we will see how they they react. Let's see. Gonna go this way and duplicate here, and yeah. You should play some OG Halo songs in the background. I should. I talked about that on YouTube, like whenever I was streaming on YouTube, and I forgot to set that up, and I should absolutely do that. I have to go into OBS so that it's not pulling all of the audio from my computer just in case I do something and, like, I don't know, have some weird audio play that I'd get taken down for or something. But I want to... That is a really good point, and I was planning on doing it. This needs to be sloped. I was planning on doing it, and you are right. You're 100% correct. And I should have already had that set up. Before I even started on Twitch, I should have set that up. So that I could make Aaron proud. Let's see. Okay, let's see what we got here. By the way, enjoying your content from day one. Thank you. Oh, were you yeah. You were one of the subs on YouTube? Because actually is your name the same? Because I feel like I recognize your name, but it might be partially the same, or maybe I'm imagining things. Like I said, I'm terrible with names, so if I'm imagining recognizing your name, don't be surprised. There's nothing. Like I said, I forget my own mother's name. I forgot my own name. I forgot whatever the fuck. Like, I don't even know what's going on with that. Probably a mental disorder. Who knows? Probably ADHD is what I hear, is that it's actually a symptom of some people's ADHD, not actually everyone's ADHD. But some people with ADHD supposedly suffer from this. And so it's one of the reasons I suspect I've got it, but never got diagnosed. Okay, so am I doing this right? Is my roof too high? As I realize now, look, it's going really far down compared to this area. Like, you compare that height to this height, it's pretty extreme, but mine, almost the same height. And I think that's finally the linchpin and why I can't get this angles to match up correctly. What's been giving me all of this trouble is that this should be down here. All the way down here. That's crazy. Wow. Okay. That explains everything. Why, no matter how many times I fiddled with this stuff, kept on feeling like it was wrong. It's because it was wrong on a fundamental level. Which means this stuff all needs to be sloped way more downward. And that's crazy. Y'all ever seen, like, Rejected Shotgun? He says he's got ADHD too. And again, I don't know that I have ADHD, just suspect. But whenever he talks about it, he's always like, yeah, I ignore chat way too much because I get hyper-focused in what I'm doing currently in the mod, and just completely lose attention. Fortunately, I'm having the opposite problem and letting chat completely pull my attention away from time to time, which is another ADHD thing, so who knows which one it is, or if I've got it or not. One day I will be able to tell you yes or no. When that day comes, you will know that I finally got over my inability to remember to do it, which is another ADHD symptom. I have been watching Healthy Gamer GG, and oh my gosh, is that such a good show. Like, gosh. He's so good. He's so good at what he does. Like, holy crap. It's such a good stream. I call it a show. It's such a good stream. I'm sure y'all know about it. Y'all are Twitch. Y'all are Twitch chat. You know about it. I'm sure you do. You know about it longer than I have. I only just discovered it. Oh man, is it fantastic. He says, don't self-diagnose. And here I am being like, I think I have. Yeah. Well, he says it's fine to self-diagnose so that you can remember, so that you can be like, yeah, no, now I need to go see somebody to get diagnosed. But you shouldn't self-diagnose otherwise. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm going to do exactly what you said not to do. And eventually I'll go see somebody. Okay, let's see. Here we go. I'm just like yabbering away about nonsense. Let's see. I think that I need this to be there, and I'm gonna make a much smaller one. I don't even need to be that thick, to be honest. Go up here, and yeah, this. Like I said before, I think I might be able to come in here and like find another rock that fits a lot of these holes. This one in particular is very square and easy to like work with and stuff like that. And you can clip it inside of one another to sort of make your angles instead of having to find one that's a triangle shape, you know? And because it's the outer edge, I don't need to worry about what's on the other side of this cave. Like, oh, let's go see that. Let's go see how terrible this is. Beautiful. Look at how gorgeous that is. So hideous. It's so beautiful in such a hideous way. But yeah, let's see. Let's see here. Let's get this angle here. They have an assignment this week. Yeah, this to do this weekend though, my kids, and that is going to be a thing. It means I have to help them with schoolwork on the weekend. I have to be a teacher on the weekend. But it'll teach them as they, you know, learn that now we can't go to the park, guys. I'm sorry. You got schoolwork to do. And they're going to be like, what? Like, that's, I told you that'd be the thing. Let's see, here we go. Okay, I've got a good angled side. Here it is. I know there's a good angled side. So I can put this here and fill this little hole very nicely. Oof. Every single time I go to turn it, it changes the angle of the rotation. There we go. There. And that's going to get me my... There's like a little ridge right there. Let me make sure I'm doing that right, because I don't want to lose track. So it comes up here. Maybe I am losing track, because I think that shouldn't be over here. That ridge is just this one. So then that means I need to... means this is all poking out too far, and I actually am doing the wrong thing here. And if I'm doing the wrong thing, I'm wasting time. Could be forging the right thing instead. So I need to fix all this up and delete that, because honestly the ceiling already had a piece there. I could delete that, adjust this one instead. And then I can have this thing get wider as it goes down this way, like it was supposed to begin with. Yeah, I knew I was doing something wrong, and I suddenly realized it all at once, like, I'm just wasting time doing this the wrong way. It needs to be done the right way the first time. Let's see, rotate down this way and bring it over here. And let's see. That looks pretty good over there. Kind of looks like rocks broke away from the roof. So whenever we get to the scripting of the stalactites, I am going to release that as a prefab. So anyone who's got lockout that wants to put a snow into their roof can do that. You can use, like if you want to do the lockout version. Oh, I should have said that while Unique was here. Ah, I think he made lockout, didn't he? Or was it somebody else? Am I thinking of somebody else? Someone let me know. Oh, when you go to sleep, do you hear the sound of that middle piece slamming down? I probably should, but no, I don't, mysteriously. Do y'all want me to turn that off? I thought it was cool for some ambiance, but if I turn on music instead, I don't need that ambiance. So, if it's bothering you guys, just let me know. I will 100% get rid of it. Like, it might have been cool at the beginning of the stream, but slowly got grating. I like it. Good. Okay. Wasn't sure if that was a complaint or not, but it was just a joke. That's all that matters. It was funny is what it was. But yeah, no, I probably, you'd expect me to, but I don't, fortunately. So we've got this slope here is what we're doing right now, but it's too far in. So really it needs to come out here, right? Is it above the right spot though? Jesus, look at this. This is above this spot correctly. Did I get too tall with the roof? Hope not. I mean, this slope is correct. In the middle, that's how I scaled the height of the roof. But maybe... No, this is right up there. I know I got that right. That's the thing. Off stream, I feel like I can like focus a little more on what I'm doing, and that's why eventually I go off stream and I do a little more work. And I think that's what you were asking earlier, why Duquesne does it, and I bet that has to do with it. When I forged a little bit in Halo 4, I would have that annoying monitor sound stuck in my head. I had to start turning game volume off. Oh, like the zzz, like buzzing around of the monitor. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's like the whiz. Actually, I didn't even think about that. They got rid of that, didn't they? Oh, thank God. I guess that's the difference between making it a tool in a game, you know, like it was a toy before, now it's a tool, as they keep saying, as they keep pointing out. Okay, so I think that yeah, this I guess is correct for where the roof is supposed to slope down into, because it's above this part of the walkway, which is already scaled. In fact, it should be even further this way. That feels like the roof is still too high. There's still too, yeah. Jeez. I gotta go all the way down here, don't I? That is insane. I did not realize how much farther this part of the, how much lower this part of the roof was. Let's see what you're saying. Yeah, it was very loud and bad in Halo 4. Nobody enjoyed it. Yeah, it was pretty extreme. It was like they were having him talk practically. It was so extreme. It was like, yeah. I wonder if that's why I just bounced off forging for Halo 4. Like I was gonna start this stream last year at the same time, like in November last year, because I thought, well, first off, I was like, well, maybe Forge won't be that delayed, and then of course it was, and I was like, dang. And then, but then more importantly than that, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna forge in you know, Master Chief Collection first, and then I'm gonna switch to Halo Infinite whenever it comes out. So that was my idea, and I actually, if anybody, I think Aaron, you might have noticed this before, at least anybody who was here for the Twitch transition, you might have noticed that I still had my schedule set up. If you had looked at my schedule, it had, we'll be forging, what do you call it, the library, which I'm still going to do, by the way. That is one of my map ideas, is that I'm going to make the library is a fantastic multiplayer map. I made it already in Reach, but I didn't like release it to the public and like get anyone's attention on it, so you probably would not have ever even remotely heard of it, and they don't have a proper file share over there. So yeah, it was very, oh yeah. And the library makes a really good multiplayer map though. I found out by trying it, by being like, hey, this seems like a good idea, and then tried it. And I was right. And it's going to be a really cool map whenever I make it for Infinite as well. Except in Reach, I ran out of pieces, so I had to only make the top part where the index room. And it still made a great map. But it could make a big team battle map if you had like the entire central chamber. Like it's mainly that central column. It's in that map that I'm like, yeah, okay. I basically decided to make that one day, and I started, and all I could end up doing, like I said, was the actual index room at the bottom. Okay, this is finally the right shape, I think. Finally the correct slope, curvature, everything like that, and then it comes out from there and sort of wraps around. It comes out like an angle, because the wall's at an angle. It sort of wraps inward toward this point, so essentially this shape, except I gotta select all these, duplicate them, and it's essentially just like this, except that it is world rotated. Ooh, that's a weird angle. Alright, let's go with object then and fix that. It's rotated like this. So I think it does need to be more like this, and pokes out this direction, and this piece is, so this is where that groove was. This is where that groove actually feeds into, is something more like this, and I was just struggling to understand that. Let me check really quick. Now that I know I've been doing like the same area over and over again, and I apologize to anybody who's trying to watch me, but for everyone watching, but I gotta get it right. I gotta get it right. Every single time I do it wrong, I gotta redo it until I get it right. Okay, so it needs to come out farther. So this new pieces here, here, and here need to come out farther. Because this right here is lined up with where it sort of ends. So that should be correct. Oh, didn't grab that piece. And that means I've finally lined up back with where that groove would be, ceiling. And I can go ahead and do this, grab that groove and bring it down, and use these pieces to feed into it so that I make sure I don't lose my slope, the slope of my roof, which I do need to change this one's angle a bit to make it feed into that one. But yeah. But otherwise, I now maintained my slope, my, like, this way slope, like this curve, instead of just going with whatever I had up there. And then now I can grab these and tilt them down and merge them into there. Okay, we're finally going to be moving on from this, I'm pretty sure, because I think I finally got it really sorted out. It just took a whole bunch of tweaking to finally, and trial and error until I got it right with that particular area. And yeah, here we go. But yeah, that's going to be a map I make in a distant future, because I'm going to remake that one. There's another map I made that was like a Mombasa Streets map that I really liked, that I had made like literally in 2010, whenever originally, and then I made an updated version once Reach got its, you know, more its additional objects in. Let's see, I almost lost my slope there because I just about forgot that I would need to maintain it right after saying it. Okay, I think I need to figure out what's going on here. This needs to be this way. Try and lean that into here a little more. Okay. And some of these marks might actually line up where the stalactites are, and if they do, this piece just needs to be rotated. Like, I'm not able to get it to the right position because of the way it's angled. It keeps on trying to jut out in weird ways and all sorts of stuff. And in fact, there's almost a whole bunch of roof above it that I could just go off of. But anyway, let's see. I think this is the right angle for it. Right. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Man. Let's see. What's up with this piece? Okay, this piece is the one that I'm trying to position otherwise, and I need to make sure it doesn't jut out. But, I mean, it can. It's not too bad. In fact, that kind of looks like good rock there at that angle. Okay, now we've got this. Now we've got a little bit closer, and I need to, let's see. Okay. There we go. Down into this piece. I'm going to put another piece there to transition into it. These are unusually thin because they're actually pieces that I created from the ceiling pieces that I had. This actually has to... It should slip this way, not the other way. There we go. And this should get a little bit wider as it goes down, not thinner. So there. That should be much more like the shape we're trying to deal with. Oh, I missed a bunch of stuff. I like to see when I forget forge. Oh yeah, no, I just missed one thing. Me trying to figure out what that zinging sound effect is supposed to be. Yeah, I think that's literally just the monitor buzzing, like his flight. It's in the campaign, but he just it was just in pain, and it was just a really terrible thing. Okay, so we got the hole coming up. That's cool. This is actually the edge of the hole. So it's what a time to put thin pieces here. Ooh, let's put thick ones. Yeah. Okay. Don't know why that warranted a woo, but there you go. And we're gonna do the same thing here and adjust back up to here. Make sure we got a good angle. And that will be, I can build off that for the hole to make it round, but that will not look terrible if it pokes through any of the rocks I put up there for the hole. So this is where I'd put the base whenever I do the glow up version as the extended base, but the base is obviously going to go more over there. I need to build out the terrain over to here so that whenever I mirror it over, it'll be perfectly mirrored to that point. And I think I still need to do that same thing over here, which I'd said, I think at the end of my last stream, the same exact thing that I need to build out to there. And then I did completely different stuff whenever I came into it today. But yeah, stalactites are going to make the ceiling look less plain because it looks very bare right now, but it's not right, and that makes it feel not right. But all the dynamic angles that are there added with stalactites will make it look better. And these lights, for example, right here and right here. Oh well, they're in the prefabs, so I think I'm gonna have to break them out of the prefab before I can edit them. They only go up to here, and they should be shining up farther. Not like they're getting blocked, obviously, but also their light length is set to like 100, and clearly I need to go to like 200 or 300 for them because they put spotlights all the way up to like half, almost near the roof. So yeah. Oh, and it taking about the monitor. I'm talking about Waterworks. Oh, like every minute a repeating alarm sound. That boom. Yeah. Oh, that weird sound effect. That just link sound. I know what you're talking about now. I don't know what that is either. I assume it's supposed to be some kind of mechanism in the walls of the building. Oh, I never fixed this light. Let's do that real quick. Because I'm here. All of them got messed up. Like, I assume that's supposed to be water trickling through, like, a pipe or something. And then there's the dripping at the end. And it's something we gotta ask Marty. Just ask him. He'll know. I'm sure he'll remember exactly why he did all of the sound effects that he did in this map, right? Okay, Marty, what is this? Now, okay, cool. Now, what is this? I don't understand. He'll feel really good that we don't understand what he was trying to do with that. Actually, he'll probably say, I don't understand. It was just cool, I don't know, cool Forerunner sound effects. Okay. Sounds like a Pokemon battle sound effect. Yeah. Like a bat sonar, yeah. That is true. Now check this out. This is how I do it. There. My angle is mostly correct now because I was clipping through, and I know it's not the right angle if they clip through at a weird angle like this. See? Almost there. Almost there. Just need to... I think it's at half inches. Yeah, it's at half rotations. There we go. That should be correct. I think I went a full tilt. And I've been doing this since Blender. Okay, so something else is still slightly off, but I'm going to settle on this because it's so close that it won't be a problem. And because there lies madness. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So I lost a couple of viewers earlier, and I wonder if it's because I said I was about to get off, because I said my kids are probably about to wake up and I gotta get off. And so I do have to get off now, though. And I think that this is good for now. We got that built out. We got this ramp built out. And for the rest of the day, I'm probably going to work on this and maybe some of the terrain coming off that cliff. And then that'll give me the ability to, once I copy it to the other side, and once I get this done over here, and maybe some more going along the ledge there, I'm not sure, and copy it over, then I'll be able to triangulate the bases, and then I'll be able to copy the base over from one side to the other. So I'm doing it in parts. I have the central tower, then the bridge, then the rocks and terrain around the bridge, then copy to the other side, and I end up with everything in the end. And hopefully it all works out. I'm at 41% memory used, and that's slightly alarming. But the central structure was like 21%, so I don't think that this is going to be a problem. Man, is Waterworks going to use the entire simulation memory? It's a lot of lights, a lot of dynamic objects, a lot of things falling from the sky. Jesus, this map is huge. If we get to that point, I'm going to have to start going through and culling objects, and that's going to be... But hopefully we don't get to that point. Because I never thought that I'd reach the end of the budget with how big it is, but here we are. I'm looking at it and I'm like, oof. Still waiting on Glenn to get back to me on these, by the way. This will be able to move up and down eventually, but the code has got to be perfected. Yeah, let's look at this cave from here. Very nice. It's in shadow already, so it feels right. These lights might be a little too bright, but they feel pretty good. this area, the bright lights are not right. Let's see. Took some artistic liberties here. It should just be that gray metal for like the entire thing, but I didn't like that. And yeah. A little bit of lag there. That was probably because my computer sucks. Well, not sucks, it's actually really good, but the graphics card is the only thing that's bad. It's not really bad, just min-spec. Ah, I never fixed that angle. I fixed the panel, I think. It got messed up again. This particular piece keeps on rotating itself. This one piece right here. This is gonna be the second time I've had to, or third time I've had to fix it. Just for no reason. I don't get it. I hope that doesn't happen forever. Because that's gonna just be a random piece that just looks terrible for literally no reason that I can think of. But anyway. Alright, yep, so I think I gotta go. I gotta wake up my kids. They gotta do school. We gotta do stuff. It's an hour past than I normally would have gone to. I was supposed to get off at 11. But yeah, okay. I will catch you guys all next time. Oh, save the map, obviously. Let's do it Hello. Let's go back into monitor mode so I don't fall to my death as a save. Save! Okay, there we go. Much better. Yeah, okay. Take care. Yes, thank you. I'll catch you guys next time, and hopefully it'll be a lot further along by the time you see it again. If not, then we'll do it then. Yeah, so, cool. Alright, catch you later.